Welcome into KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. Quarterfinal action in the 6A state playoffs as the Davis Darts welcome in the Lone Peak Knights. Thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Dane Stewart. Please be joined by Jeff Hansen. Jeff, oh goodness, Lone Peak, Davis, couldn't get any better on this Friday afternoon.
I'm fired up, Dave. I've been excited. I feel like I'm almost playing. I couldn't sleep last night. I was so excited for this game. This is the game of the week. It's going to be a ton of fun. Two excellent football teams that we get to see tonight.
I woke up at 3 a.m. Could not go back to sleep. Been waiting all day for this one. I've been drinking green tea all day. Just a movie reference there to get us going early. Lone Peak in the road whites, Davis in the home. Brown and gold as we get ready for tonight's opening kickoff. This is a shared network game. Lone Peak and Davis, both members of the Rewind Sports Network, so you'll hear us give reads for both teams as the game proceeds tonight. But we are underway here from Davis High School as the opening kick into the end zone for the touchback, and this Davis opening drive presented by Black Flag will come out starting at their own 20-yard line. Jeff, talk to us about this Davis offense.
This Davis offense, it starts with Trayden Bessinger. He's going to go up over 4,000 passing yards for the season early in this game. He's right up against it right now. It's going to be interesting to see how the run game kind of comes what the role the run game has, I guess, and how it all comes together against this tough Lone Peak defensive front.
Davis will start in the shotgun. No surprise there. You talk about Trayden Bessinger, a lot of options, including Jackson Itaihau, Bodie Sparrow, Tyson Baggett, Isaac Morrison, as this first play is slung out into the flat, and that is Itaihau introducing himself to this Lone Peak defense. My goodness, there is the 4,000-yard mark and a first down, or a gain of 8 there for Davis.
Yeah, Jackson Itaihau, he's a big part of this Davis offense. And you could see on that play, that's, I think, going to be a big play. Those quick swing passes, those short routes, try to neutralize this aggressive Lone Peak defense. And that's kind of a makeshift running attack for this Davis offense.
Just a reminder, the clock you see on your screen, unofficial. At times we start it early, stop it late. We do our best to keep it synced with the official clock here in the stadium. As be a 2nd and 2 here for Davis High School. And I love you talking about those, kind of throws into the flat. Help to serve as that run game. Going to be very important for Davis here in this one. As Bessinger, a little pump fake there. He's going to take this and run it. Not an aspect you see him do a ton of, but certainly capable as he takes it up to the 30 for the first.
Yeah, Trayden Bessinger, certainly a better athlete than I think most people realize. When you look and you see that big 6'5" frame in the pocket, you expect that he's going to be a statue. But Bessinger's got nearly 200 rushing yards on the season. He can move around a little bit back there when he has to.
50 touchdowns on the year. That's 5-0 for Trayden Bessinger. Only 3 interceptions. Been extremely efficient, 75% completion percentage. He has had a year to remember for the Darts. First down, pressure coming, and Bessinger gonna go down. This Lone Peak defense gets home, led by Tate King.
And that's what this Lone Peak defense can do. They are so aggressive, especially with those linebackers. And they're going to present a level of physicality that I don't know if Davis has seen. So how does that offensive line hold up in that specific case? How does the running back pick up that pass protection? That really falls on the shoulders of Trayden Bessinger before the snap to make sure he's got the protections in the right place.
Lone Peak doesn't have that double-digit sack guy this year, but they got a lot of guys who can get home, like King, Zundell, Maunga, Grimmer. There's a whole host of guys on this Lone Peak defense that can cause trouble. 3rd and 16. And Bessinger, a little zone read here. We'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing else is that Lone Peak defense flying around here early as Grimmer with the stop.
And you can see very early on, Coach Ryan Denny, defensive coordinator for Lone Peak, he wants to be aggressive. He wants to try and speed things up for Trayden Bessinger. That's what Coach Denny is known for. That's what this Lone Peak defense is so good at doing. And it's been successful here on this drive.
This Davis team, they played American Fork this year. That AF team beat Lone Peak in the regular season. Davis defeated AF 29-15, and they're sitting here 3rd and 16. Not a situation Davis has been in much this year. As Bessinger, good pocket, has a man. That's Sparrow caught, and he is right at the 6. That's going to be good for the first.
What a ball by Bessinger, the pressure bearing down on him, and he goes to Mr. Reliable. Bodie Sparrow is the go-to target in this dynamic rushing attack Bodie Sparrow gets just the exact yardage he needs, and Davis moves the chains.
Sparrow over 1,000 yards receiving this year, 16 touchdowns through the air this year. He's also got 7 picks. You'll see him go both ways tonight. He's got a chance to make plays on both sides of the ball for the Darts. 5 wide here on first down as they've got the ball at the 42-yard line. Plenty of time on the clock here. Bessinger looking over to Coach Peary. 5 now on the play clock. Little quick throw. That is Sparrow again, looking for room up the middle. And you'll see that short game a lot tonight, Jeff, and then Bodie able to make plays after the reception.
And that's what makes Bodie Sparrow and really this entire Davis offense so dynamic. You have to respect their ability to beat you over the top, but they will take those short routes all day long.
Playing with a little tempo here. They're going to run it. This is Itaiha with the carry. First down, gain of 4 there for Jackson.
Good run by Jackson Itaiha. This Davis rushing attack is not the most dynamic rushing attack you're going to see, but when they're able to pick up 3-4 yards and capitalize on those short yardage situations, that's all that they need this rushing attack to be. Just enough to keep that aggressive Lone Peak front a little bit more honest.
Jackson in the backfield here on this first down play. You'll see that kind of it mixed intermittently. He and Mikael Bird out of the backfield is Bessinger rolling to his right, and he's got Sparrow wide open. First down is Bodie out of bounds inside the 30.
You could see pre-snap, Bodie Sparrow and Bessinger, they signaled to each other. Sparrow recognized he had one-on-one coverage. They moved him around, and he was wide open on that one. That's a connection to look towards a lot. Anytime Bessinger has Bodie Sparrow one-on-one, they're going to try to find a way to get him the ball.
One of the things that makes it tough is they sent Tyson Baggett deep, and you've got to respect there are 4 Davis receivers with at least 9 receiving touchdowns. So you got to play that deep. It opens up that underneath. First down here for the Darts. Here's Isaac Morrison as a penalty flag coming in on the play. Davis fans don't like that one.
Yeah, it is a hold. I think that they're number 18 looking here at Sam Coleman. I think he just had the shoulder pads of the defender a little too much. They'll talk and make sure, but I think by the book, this one's going to be a good call.
You know, I was going to get an updated book, and I didn't do my part, didn't communicate well, and so I'm left with an old version still, Jeff. We'll get there. Oh, how about that?
Well,
Never
there
mind.
We go. What do we know?
A face mask call. See, this is why I need the new book.
If we had the new book,
we would have gotten that right. How about that? A personal foul, a face mask call there on the Lone Peak defense. Will move Davis into the red zone. First and 10 at the 12.
Well, that's just what this Davis offense needs is additional help getting free yards.
Yeah.
This is maybe the most dynamic offense in the state. They don't need those bonus yards. That's a tough blow for the Lone Peak defense.
So first down. Itaiha to the left of Bessinger. Trips to the bottom of the formation. And we've got a flag coming in. Bessinger was trying to go with that kind of hard count, and I don't know if there was this is probably going to be on the, well, actually, I don't know.
We can't go 0 for 2, right?
Yeah, okay.
I'm with you. I thought it was going to be on the offense, but now I'm gun shy after the face mask.
Because it didn't come from the wing, that's what had me thinking. I think it's probably going to come and be on the offense, but again, I'm no official.
It's probably a good thing, for the best.
It is a very good thing. No one wants that.
No one wants that.
So penalty here backs Davis up. First and 15 here for the Darts. Opening drive. They've taken off almost half of this first quarter. And hey, they'll get it right back. They've used that hard clap a couple times on this opening drive, Jeff.
They have, and credit to this Davis crowd here. It is silent before the snap. You can play that hard clap all you want when it's this quiet, and it pays off there. They get the penalty yards right back.
We talked about Tavita Maunga earlier, and one of the leaders on sacks, for this Lone Peak defense. He was the party there that came across the line of scrimmage and takes it back to the original line of scrimmage. Here's Itaiha looking for blocks. Morrison able to set it up. Jackson inside the 5 and taken out of bounds. Jackson Itaiha with the reception of about 8.
Great job by Itaiho of being patient and letting those blocks develop. The wide receiver core, really, there was a fleet of Davis wide receivers out in front, clearing the way for Itaiho. Does a good job staying patient.
Second down play. They can get a first without scoring a touchdown. Screen, no, little pitch to Itaiho, and he's going to be brought down behind the line. That is so well read there by Kingston Stroshine, and we know, we've seen him this year, Jeff Stroshine, just a freshman. Boy, he's going to be a special player.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that Kingston Stroshine is just a freshman. I'm going to show you, just for some proof, my notes on Stroshine. Elite. That's it. That's the only note. Just a freshman. He is fantastic at that linebacker spot.
Yeah, I appreciate you reading that. I thought it said E-Light.
Yeah,
you know,
I
like
had to make sure to clarify.
And I was like E-Light. I don't know what that is,
it's
but
tough.
Elite. Yeah,
Elite.
Yeah, good call.
Elite.
Good
E-Light.
call. Third down here for Davis. Bessinger rolling to his right. Oh, nice move there. Buy some time. Back in the end zone through the hands of Morrison. Incomplete. Boy, had a receiver in the back of the end zone. Isaac Morrison usually makes that catch, and here will be a good indicator.
He puts that ball right where it needs to be, but it just goes off the hands of his receiver. Davis is going to settle for the field goal try. Take the early lead with the field goal attempt. To try and take the early lead with the field goal attempt.
Point out, or the field goal is up. It is good. So opening drive leads to 3 points for the Davis Darts. And they march the ball at about 85 yards or so.
Yeah, that was look, you look at this, you look at the way that drive panned out, you'd love to get the touchdown, right? I mean, that's obviously disappointing. You take off 6.5 minutes, you move the length of the field.
Not a bad thing to do.
You feel pretty good right now if you're the Davis offense, because look, as a team from the north, right, you're going up against Region 3, and if you look at Davis's path, if they're going to get to the state championship game, it is a Region 3 gauntlet the rest of the way. You have to get past the logos on the helmet. I've talked about it a lot over the last couple of weeks that is a big component of the game. When you're one of these teams from the north playing those point of the mountain schools, it's tough. Davis should have some confidence after that first drive.
This is really the opportunity for the North to make that statement.
Absolutely.
Right? This is the Davis team to do it. They're the 3 seed in the tournament. The winner will play the winner of the 2 and 7 seed matchup, Skyridge American Fork. So to your point, they'll have to go through pretty much Region 3 from here on out. We expect Corner to play well on the other side. But, yeah, I mean, this is kind of where it starts, and a lot of hopes up north here resting on this Davis offense to do it.
To kind of illustrate that point, I went through and I looked at some of Davis's playoff runs over the last several years. They've lost to Skyridge, to Lehigh, to Skyridge, to Skyridge, to Lone Peak, to Lone Peak.
This kickoff returned up the middle. Great return there by Thomas Herget up to the 38-yard line. That will do for Lone Peak. And my apologies, it's actually Cooper Stosich.
That's a great return, just what Lone Peak needed. We talk about that success that Region 3 has had against this Davis program. They have an opportunity to come out and make a statement, and they're going to do it with the arm of Kepa Nimetolu. We've seen a lot of Cruz Christensen for this Lone Peak offense, but Kepa, he's back, he's healthy. I talked to Coach Brockbank before the game, and they said, look, he told me, look, just from a leadership perspective, having Kepa back there is huge, and playoff time is when Kepa tends to play his best.
My apologies, it was Herget on the return. These old guys, they still got some tricks up their sleeves. First down. That ball caught. You're going to hear this name a lot. Jared Pula with the reception. He takes us ahead for a gain of about 8, maybe 9 yards on the play.
That's going to be the biggest matchup for this for this Davis defense. How do they match up with Jaron Pula? There's a couple of Pulas you have to worry about. Jaron has had the bigger year, scores more touchdowns. Kennan, you certainly have to account for. He can have big games at any moment. How do you account for both of those? I'm looking at Bodie Sparrow, the interceptions leader, to play a big role.
He may, as this will be Nimetolu keeping it. And he's got the first down across midfield, takes it to the 43-yard line. And that's the element that I think Kepa can bring in playoff time, Jeff, which you were just talking about, that makes this maybe a little different Lone Peak offense.
Yeah, that's exactly what Kepa brings to the table. He has the arm that he can make all the throws to those dynamic wide receivers, but if you only key in on those wide receivers, he is good enough and he is patient enough that he will beat you with his legs.
Took this team to the state championship game last year. couldn't complete the comeback in that one against Corner. Had some injuries this year, has kind of battled through that, has got back healthy, and now an opportunity to shine as a senior as he'll hand off here to Sean Tahi, the junior, able to pick up about a pair for the Knights.
Good pursuit by Cole Clark out of that Davis linebacker core. He made the read and made the tackle. There's so many weapons that this Lone Peak offense has that Davis has to account for. The first guy who gets home, he's got to come up with those tackles. If you give that Lone Peak offense a chance to break tackles and make plays, there's going to be a lot of green in front of them because this Davis defense is spread out.
Second down here. Dual backs in the shotgun here surrounding Kepa is kept here by Kepa again. Kepa through the lane, and he takes this down about the 22. And a couple early runs here from Kepa, looking good for this Knight offense.
Yeah, and there it is right there. Kepa just brings an extra level of dynamics to this offense that you have to account for. He can pull it on any play, and he is super athletic. When he gets going with his legs, he is really tough to catch.
So first down here for Lone Peak. They've been moving the ball quickly. It's approaching the 3.5-minute mark for the Knights. This time he'll give. This is Tate Barney. They're trying to blend Tahi and Barney there. It didn't turn out well, but Barney did a great job carrying the ball in the first part of the year. Tahi's come on, giving them now kind of dual backs, but Barney's been great.
Yeah, when Barney's healthy, he's really, really good. He's faster than he looks. He has big body. He's tough to bring down. I mean, that's a gain of 5 that really almost was a tackle for loss, but Barney's just fast enough that he gets past the tackle.
And it didn't look like he got 5 yards, but he averages 6.5 a carry on the season. So again, like he can pick him up for you. It will be he and we're back here on this second down. Kepa to throw, has a man that was incomplete, was looking for Fanua as if they needed more options out of the backfield. Isaac is another one of them. That one just incomplete.
Yeah, that's where you see Isaac Fanua really shine out of the backfield. He's a fantastic wide receiver. Kepa delivers a good ball there. That's one that Fanua is going to want back, but that's something that this Davis defense has to account for every single snap.
This Davis team, watch out for number 10, Johnny Parker, defensive line. Plays on the edge, 8.5 sacks this year. I think you got to be careful of that force, Kepa to run or allow him to run earlier. It'll be a bit of a chess match how this Davis pass rush tries to attack this Lone Peak quarterback. His play clock down inside 5. Kepa gets the snap away, play action. Looking, a lot of time, looking to the end zone and overthrown. Good coverage there by Davis. Really not a lot of a window for Kepa to place that in.
Yeah, and I think that Kepa just a little bit late on this ball. Jaron Pula comes out of his break and he's open, but that hesitation is just enough to allow the Davis defense to get back into it, make that throw a little bit more muddy for Kepa Nimotolu, throws it out of the back of the end zone safely, and Lone Peak's going to settle for a field goal attempt.
Yeah, so that drive, which had a lot of promise, boy, the run game was good, kind of got him down there in some chunks. That Davis defense able to tighten up just inside the red zone. It'll be a 36-yard field goal try here for Jake Barker. Ball is up, and that is just good. So we're tied up, 3 apiece here, Lone Peak and Davis in the first quarter of the 6A quarterfinal. I want to take a moment to mention the sponsorships of these two programs. For a range of reasons, call Kessler Allaire Insurance Services if you have any insurance needs. National Auto Plaza, where you can find the best deals on the best cars, trucks, and SUVs with their legendary $3,500 rebate. Also want to thank Tiny Hero, a Utah nonprofit giving families hope and help when their baby is born with CDH. They provide support, grants, and a community standing with them every step of the way. Visit tinyhero.org to learn more. And of course, doTERRA, proud sponsor of Lone Peak football. doTERRA's products help athletes around the world maintain the highest level of health and wellness. Learn more about how you can up your health and wellness game at doTERRA.com. So, Jeff, Davis opening drive, they go down, kick a field goal. Lone Peak's opening drive, they go kick a field goal. Davis come back out, going to have another opportunity to try to drive and get one of those Henry Walker Holmes touchdowns. If you are Davis, do you look to do anything differently here on the second drive of the game?
No, I think you feel good. You drove the length of the field, and then you had an opportunity. You had your hands on the ball in the end zone. I don't think you change anything if you're Davis. You just continue to execute what has got you to this point all season long. Nothing on that opening drive should have completely altered the game plan for Coach Peary, Trayden Bessinger in this offense. I got to catch my breath, man.
Right?
I'm all hyped up. I don't know how these guys are staying composed. I'm ready to go get a personal foul. I mean, I'm fired up here.
Is that a promise, Jeff? I mean, I'm not going to lie. I could manage seeing you run out on the field. Kind of like Michael Scott, right? The irony was they got a penalty in that game. They ended up losing it. Cost them the state championship.
You know, for the name of content, it might be worth it. I have a hunch we'd go viral.
Real quick.
I don't know. Maybe you could sell that. I don't know.
So Davis, their second drive, will also start at this 20-yard line. Did it not? We mentioned they throw a lot kind of underneath and allow their athletes in space. Would you expect Davis to maybe try to take a shot here, or do you feel like they're still trying to get a feel for this defense?
I think you make that read based on what the secondary is doing for Lone Peak, and right now they're giving a lot of respect to that deep ball.
Bessinger gonna look. That ball's caught by Baggett, and Tyson able to pick up 6 yards on the reception.
And that right there, that is that's Davis's answer to Lone Peak's rushing attack. Lone Peak's perfectly content to let guys like Tahi and Tate Barney run 5 yards a carry and then play on second down. That's the kind of pass that Trayden Bessinger all season long. He doesn't have to go deep. He's perfectly content staying ahead of the chains and making good decisions.
Talking with Coach Peary earlier, and he said, you know, Bessinger knows this offense almost better than Coach does. He's been playing it a long time, incredibly smart. As trading hands off here, this is Bird. We talked about him on that opening drive, and Mikhail able to take this up to the 29, a gain of 3.
And Davis doesn't run the ball a ton, but Bird, when he's had opportunities, he's been really good for this Davis offense. And look, you look at Davis right now, just looking at that offensive line on camera. This isn't your typical Davis offensive line. They are big up front. They are strong. This is a tough matchup against a big, strong Lone Peak defensive front. But Davis's offensive line isn't going to be intimidated, and they're not overly outsized in this match.
You know, one of the other interesting things for this Lone Peak team is, you know, Bot Tolo. We've seen him play some defense. I don't know if that was because of some of the injuries in depth, but Lone Peak kind of has that in their back pocket should they need it, as Bessinger just reaches that ball ahead. Boy, I think it's right at the line. It is. That will be good for the first down. Love the effort there from the senior quarterback.
You love to see that. If you're one of the 10 other guys on the field right now and you see your big-time 4-star quarterback putting his body on the line in the playoffs, that gets you fired up. I mean, he's doing this. He wants to win. And if your leader's doing it like that, playing that kind of effort, then you're going to follow suit.
Because it actually looked like Lone Peak might have had that short.
Yeah.
Great play there by Bessinger to keep the drive alive inside a minute here in this opening quarter. 2-by-2, Lone Peak bringing pressure again. Over the middle, caught by Baggett, trying to find some room after the reception. Brought down by a host of Knights, but he'll pick up 4.
Yeah, really well done by Lone Peak. And again, Kingston Stroshine was in on that play. There was a handful of Lone Peak Knights there. Just a good job not falling for the eye candy, staying within their run lanes, and Baggett ultimately runs right into the arms of a tackler.
The thing I love about that, they've got a 3-man front, right? They bring a linebacker, so you kind of throw to the space where the linebacker evaded, and, you know, again, you'll take your 4, 5, 6 yards, 4, 5, 6 yards at a time.
Right. And you'll feel pretty good about that.
Probably the final play of the quarter here. Bessinger under pressure, stepping up. Now sees a little bit of space. Looking for Ita Ihau, and he makes the grab. Boy, coverage was there by Tawatele Afu, and Jackson Ita Ihau still brings it down, and that's how the first quarter expires. 3 apiece. Davis, Lone Peak knotted up in this quarterfinal. Live from Davis High School. Welcome back. Ready to start our second quarter. Dane Stewart, Jeff Hansen with you. As I want to take a moment, thank our sponsors here of Davis High Football, including Henry Walker Homes. They get you in your home faster. With communities in Davis and Salt Lake counties, they provide the custom look you want with the craftsmanship of an experienced builder. They work together to ease your concerns. It's like you're part of the family. Visit them online at henrywalkerhomes.com. First down, Davis to start this second quarter. 5 wide, Bessinger under pressure again. Boy, he's done a great job evading that, and here just throws it away to negate any loss. There was that play looking deep. Wasn't there, Jeff?
Yeah, and a great job by Trayden to avoid that pressure, avoid the sack, just get rid of the ball. But now that's where Davis, if you're going to get 3 or 4 yards at a time, 5 yards at a time, you can't miss, right? You got to stay on target. Now, 2nd and long, let's see what Coach Peary and Bessinger in this offense adjust with.
Look at the stats and want to thank the Pettingills for helping us out here at Davis. Always so great to provide stats. We love it. Trayton Bessinger was 10 for 10 prior to that throw, 81 yards. That's a pretty good start. Here's Sparrow looking for room in the middle of the field and stopped there after a gain of 5, but he got half of it.
Yeah, good job by Bodie Sparrow. His explosiveness after the catch, his ability to just get to that top gear really quickly, it is special. And there's no reason why, there's no question why schools throughout the country have found their way to Kaysville, Utah. For
LSU?
That's pretty big.
LSU offer?
That's pretty big.
Love it. And he's just a junior, by the way.
Yeah.
3rd down here for Davis. Oh, Bodie Sparrow, there it is again. Able to go high, make that grab, and it's enough for the first.
And a great job by Trayton Bessinger again. Sense that pressure, get rid of the ball quickly, and let Bodie do the rest. Davis moves the chains once again. There's a lot of star talent in this one. When you look at it, Trayton Bessinger and Bodie Sparrow, both 4 stars. Bodie Sparrow, top-rated guy in his class. On the flip side, Bot Mulitalo is a 4-star in his own right. I mean, there's a lot of star power here.
Yes, there is. That's why there's so much hope for this Davis team this year to do something special as they'll go on the ground. Ita Ihau inside the 35. And that's the thing I love about Ita Ihau, maybe the most, his physicality. Like, he's a thick kid, but, man, he even plays bigger than he is.
And he plays with a ton of confidence that he is big, and it's that mindset that he doesn't think he's smaller than anybody. He'll invite contact. He'll do it as a receiver or running back. He just wants to win. And I love that he wears number 88 in the backfield. Nearly number 88 in 2025 is great to see.
Well, he spends as much time outside as he does in the backfield, in fairness. As 2nd down, they'll go right back. Ita Ihau up the middle. He's got the first and more. Bouncing off tacklers inside the 20, and it's 1st down, Davis.
Look at this Davis offensive line creating huge seams for Ita Ihau to run through. Now Davis gets on the ball. They want to go quick.
And we've got, it was a late substitution. Lone Peak going to have to take a timeout to prevent the penalty. You talk about getting on the ball quick, right? You sense that the defense is not in the position they need to be, and Bessinger right on it. Love the response there by that Davis offense.
Yeah, and when you have a guy as experienced as Bessinger is within this offense, look, that's some of the beauty of staying home, staying at the school you started with. Bessinger knows this offense inside and out. He's got hundreds of reps, thousands of reps running what Coach Peary wants. So when you have those opportunities, go quick. He knows exactly what to do.
Just like a game can wear on you, sometimes life can wear on a person. If you're lacking the energy you wish you had to live your best life, check out Black Flag. Their energy sticks provide the pickup you want without any sugar or artificial colors or flavors. Use the code DART20 at blkflg.com to save 20% on your order. That's blkflg.com and use the promo code DART20 to save 20%. So 1st down at the 19-yard line. This drive going very similar to their first of the game. Speaking of the darts, Bessinger will look for Sparrow. Bodie finds some room back up the middle, still on his feet to the 5-yard line. It's 1st and goal.
Bodie Sparrow, once again, he gets up to his top speed, shows off the change of direction there, and you saw, once again, as soon as the whistle blew, Dane, Trayton's looking over at Coach Peary saying, hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. He wants to move with some tempo.
1st and goal. Ita Ihau and Baggett both in the backfield. Baggett motioning out. Looking, just overthrown, was looking for Isaac Morrison. That ball just a touch tall.
And Rami Kaili there, number 8 for Lone Peak, got just enough contact with the Davis receiver before that ball was thrown, legal contact, to throw off the timing of that route. And Bessinger's ball falls harmlessly to the ground. Now this is where the drive stalled out for Davis, inside the red zone.
Kind of the
Things get
compact
tight.
area.
Yeah,
Yep.
it gets tough.
Well, and especially when you do look so much underneath and get guys in space, right?
And with the ability of this Lone Peak defense to speed you up offensively, the red zone's going to be tough.
Bessinger will hand off. Not tough when you have Itaiao. Taking contact, stretches forward, down at the 1. Boy, I thought that ball was stretched out. Now, I'm not on the line, right? I don't know when that knee comes down. Let's have a look.
And it's such a tough read from our angle. It looks like that's probably the right spot. The ball certainly crossed the line, but I think the knee came down just before it did. Tough to see from our angle, but that side judge right on that.
Boy, and Itaiao having to come off here. I think they're saying there's blood, so you're going to lose your power back at the goal line here for Davis, as Bird will come into sub.
Now, there's a lot of people right now yelling at the camera saying, hey, quarterback sneak, quarterback sneak. I don't know how often Davis is running under center.
They don't. We saw it against Farmington. Here it is, and they did run a couple of QB sneaks. They will give it to Bird. Looking for a lane, lowers the pads in the end zone. Touchdown, Davis.
And there's the physicality of that Davis offensive line. Clears just enough of a crease for Mikaio Bird to cross the goal line, get into the end zone for this first touchdown of the game. That's a big-time run for Bird.
Big-time run for Bird, and it's a Henry Walker-Holmes touchdown for the Darts, as they've got a chance to go up here by 7 with the PAT. Great-looking drive there for Davis as the kick is up. It is good. 10-3, the lead for the home side. Davis leading Lone Peak in the 6A quarterfinal. As Lone Peak gets ready to receive this kick, want to thank Stroformance, a science-based speed and performance training system using state-of-the-art technology and data to train thousands of athletes, and a proud sponsor of the Lone Peak football team. Also want to thank G2G Protein Bar, helping busy people eat well when they're on the go. And of course, Skin Science, the presenting sponsor of Lone Peak football. Start your journey as an esthetician today. Visit skinscienceinstitute.com to schedule a tour and enroll now.
Do you want a real-time testimonial of Stroformance?
Yeah.
Kingston Stroshine. Remember that note? Elite.
I do remember. I thought you were going to say, I've been there.
No,
and I was like, Jeff, I can't wait to hear this.
that would be bad. I don't want anybody to have to claim the athleticism that I bring. But Kingston Stroshine, he may have trained a time or two in Stroformance, and look at him making an impact as a freshman. I don't think I could make an impact as a freshman, as a senior, as a grown adult.
This kick high, and it will be returnable. Scooped up at the 14, and Davis able to cover well. Will make the stop at the 24-yard line. Jeff, I'll ask you the same question I asked about Davis. Second drive here for Lone Peak. Do you expect to see much different here, or do you feel like there was an aspect that maybe they lean into here on this second drive?
I think they found a lot of success with that ground game, and I think if you're going to open up the big play with the Pula twins in the pass game, you've got to drag this Davis defense in. Bring those linebackers up. See if you can catch those safeties cheating a step or two to try to anticipate the run. I would think that we see an emphasis on the run game for this Lone Peak offense.
Niome Tolu, pistol formation with Barney behind him. Under pressure, Kepa trying to buy time. That's deflected. Nearly intercepted. Probably should have been Bridger Young. The hands go to the helmet like, oh, I had it.
That's one Bridger Young's going to want back. As it is, that's a fantastic play. Davis for Reed to get the pressure on Kepa. Pula was open. They were trying to go deep to Pula, and he had 2 or 3 steps on the entire Davis secondary. If Nimetolu has time to throw that ball, that goes for 6.
Well, I'll tell you this. That was a great job on the pass rush, too, for Davis Ferry. You talked about stuck with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And was right in the grill of Kepa. Fortunate that did not hurt Lone Peak, because 2nd and 10. Quick throw and coverage right there immediately. Nice tackle being made by Connor Brown as It was Kenan Pula there with the reception of 6.
Third down is always big. It's sort of a lazy talking point as an announcer to say, hey, third down is a big play. But I think these are going to be especially big for this Davis defense. You've got to get off the field when you have a chance against this Lone Peak offense.
Big play here. Lone Peak trailing by 7. About 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Chance for Davis to get a stop. Kepa will hand off. Barney looking left side and able to get it. Nice run there by Tate Barney.
See, and you could see what we talked about there, that because Davis is so spread out defensively, you're going to have a lot of one-on-one opportunities for tackles. And right there, Tate Barney's able to get through initial contact and push past the chains.
And by the way, that was Ethan Lockwood, who's Davis's highest tackle. He's got 129 tackles on the year, and Barney was able to kind of evade that, fend it off enough to move the chains. Speaks to the physicality that Tate Barney brings this Lone Peak offense. They'll give it back to Barney. Looking left side again, Lockwood there, and able to bring him down, limit the gain to 2.
And a good job on that play by Davis, bringing Barney down on initial contact. I think that third down play call was kind of telling. That it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and they turn to the ground game right there. That tells me that Coach Brockbank and this Lone Peak offensive staff, they think they've got a big advantage, and when they need that play, they're going to turn to the ground game in this one.
It's one of the reasons why I asked that question, because they ran the ball extremely well, and they mixed it up, right? Including Kepa as well as Barney. We saw Tahi. I was curious if you felt like, they might run the ball more here in this second drive, as Kepa was looking for Pula. He'll tuck it here instead. Pick up about 6, maybe 7 yards on that run. Boy, that's a nice read there by Kepa.
Yeah, really good job. Good use of the pump fake to create just enough of a delay for that Davis defense. Kepa does the rest. He doesn't need a whole lot of time or space to hit that top gear and make it upfield.
Well, I think it's one where it's like, hey, I want the slant, but the coverage is there, so I'm going to get something. And, again, uses his athleticism. You see the dynamic. Again, this is why there was so much excitement for Lone Peak this year, right? Having that skill set and the injury, obviously took some time for him to get healthy, but boy, he looks healthy and good. Another third down here for Lone Peak, 1 yard to go. They'll run with Kepa. He's got the first. Takes it across midfield into Davis territory, the 48.
And that's what makes Kepa dangerous. This play looks like it's designed to go right up the middle, but Kepa's like a running back, a quarterback. He can make a quick read, find the gap that's open, and get upfield, and instead of a gain of 2 to move the chains, that's a gain of 10 to move the chains. He's fun. It's good to see a healthy Kepa.
It is great to see a healthy Kepa. Had such a great sophomore year, and goes over to Lone Peak last year, and really felt like he found himself late in that year. And again, a lot of excitement. Just haven't been able to see him on the field, but they've had a couple weeks to kind of get healed up, and it's paying dividends here early. He'll throw this underneath to Tahi, and Tahi looking back towards the middle will pick up 3.
Great job by Tahi of, again, avoiding that initial contact. That play was nearly stopped for maybe a loss or at least right at the line of scrimmage, but Tahi able to make something out of nothing and pick up 3, maybe 4 yards.
You know who's going to get their steps in tonight, this afternoon, this evening, whatever you want to call it? Isaac Morrison and Connor Brown, because Lone Peak is sending deeps. It's like, look, you got to find a way to stay stride for stride with 2 special future D1 receivers on this Lone Peak offense.
Now, and right here on this short side of the field, Jaron Pula looks like he may.
There was help there, but Kepa going to keep it here. And that's the dilemma you're putting them in. It's like, okay, you want to go and you want to cover the outside. We got blockers inside to run the football. As Kepa here able to pick up 6.
That matchup, the matchup I'm looking for, I assume that Jaron's going to have a safety over the top just about every play. When the safety over the top isn't Bodie Sparrow, I got to think that that's when Lone Peak is going to start to look his direction.
But the other safety is Ita
really
Ihau.
good.
It's Ita Ihau. And so it's just like, that's the fascinating thing about this Davis defense. Their whole secondary
they're
plays
all good.
wide receiver and all have over 9 touchdowns, and then they go play defense on the other end. Another third down here for Lone Peak. They've looked good on third downs on this drive. Kepa will give and able to escape the tackle. Barney still on his feet, but will lose yardage. Well, that's a great job by this Davis defense getting in the backfield early.
Great job having the swarm come. Tate Barney able to avoid the initial contact.
Talk about Johnny Parker earlier. He was the one able to break through that line and really disrupt the timing of that whole scheme. 4th down here for Lone Peak. Offense still on the field. They've got to get to the 39. 4th and 3 for the Knights. Kepa, no, gonna throw it over the top, and it is broken up. It's Bodie Sparrow. Designed for Ledger Holmes, but Bodie is there.
What a fantastic read by Bodie Sparrow, and he shows off the recovery speed. Lone Peak goes with that little Tim Tebow fake run, throw the pass over the top. Receiver's got a guy, but it's Bodie Sparrow, recognizes it just in time, and then he shows off that recovery speed, makes a huge play. Now a huge opportunity for Bessinger in the offense.
We talked about 7 interceptions, and that was in like the first 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah.
They haven't played a lot of teams that throw the football the last couple weeks. I thought Bodie would have an opportunity to make plays on both sides, and that's a big one here early. 4 minutes to go, Davis offense back on the field. Chance to go up multiple possessions as Lone Peak will get the ball to start the second half. They throw this to Itai Howe. Jackson now hitting the afterburners across midfield to the 43. First down darts.
And you're going to see Davis turn to tempo right now. Bessinger is yelling at his sideline. He wants the play. He senses the momentum of this game. He wants to get on the ball and go quick.
Still calling it out here to his receivers. They'll go 5 wide once again. Bessinger, quick throw. It's caught by Morrison. Contact there immediately. They'll give him 5 yards on the catch.
I mean, that's a great first down play. It feels, because it goes so fast, it feels like that's not a huge gain. That's 5-6 yards on first down.
What you need. And here's the thing I love. You talk about the tempo, and you're trying to keep that momentum going while not scoring too quickly, right? So that's where this offense is great right now, because you can go 5-8 yards, take time off the clock, still move the football, and put yourself in a position to at least get points.
And by getting on the ball quick, like you're going to go fast, you force Lone Peak to stay on the field.
Yep. Second down here. Bessinger, quick throw. This is Sam Coleman. Going to be close to the first down, but will be short.
Yeah, great tackle. I believe that was number 6, Toa Teleafa. Maybe it was Tony Grimmer who got out there, but great tackle. Coleman looked like he had that first down made, and Lone Peak able to keep him just short of the chains.
So third down here for the Darts. Got to get 1. Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the first half. Little fake there. Bessinger going to take it himself. Boy, contact right at the line of scrimmage. I think he might be short, Jeff.
Yeah, it's all going to depend on the stop. Really great play, great discipline by the Lone Peak defense. They didn't fall for any of those misdirections. And you're right, Dane, he is just short.
Actually, they're going to measure this, and I think this is right. The ball looks like it's on the 33, which is where the first down marker is. They just changed it, first down Davis. It looked awfully close. That's a heck of a play by Bridger Dunn, by the way.
That is a heck of a play. You know, our guy, Dusty Litster, he always taught me one thing. It's just important that they get it right in the end.
Yes, it is. First down here, Davis. Bessinger gonna look deep. First Sparrow, there's the flag. I will say this. I do not envy the officiating crew with these quarterbacks and these offenses. You can see that holding here, and that back judge saw it as well, gets the flag out there. Nice loft on that flag, by the way.
Yeah, there was some precision.
He kind of dropped that one in.
Yeah, he's had some practice throwing that flag in. That was a good call. That's one of those that the crowd sees it. They want that flag immediately. Those refs saw that. That flag was coming either way, but you got to ref the rest of the play as well.
Yep. So first down here for Davis. They're inside the red zone again.
And 1:49 here in the stadium. Great job by Davis of taking up the clock and moving the ball downfield.
Yeah, they got this ball about 4.5 to go, I believe. Itai Howe. Oh, a double pass, and that is caught. Is he in? Out at the 1. What a play as it was Tyson Baggett taking this to the goal line.
Wow, what a play by Itai Howe. They've been setting that up seemingly all game long. You expect Itai Howe to just run. He throws it. What a play.
Love it. First and goal. Bessinger rolling, looking, and has a man caught. Is he in? Touchdown, Davis. It is Isaac Morrison with the 1-yard touchdown reception.
Great patience by Traden Bessinger, doesn't force that ball. And Isaac Morrison, he stays with the play, moves with his quarterback, finds a way to get open, trusting that Bessinger's going to put it right where it needs to be, and he does. That's a huge conversion for this Davis offense.
Point after try here for the Darts to go up 14. Just over 90 seconds left. It is up. It is good. 17-3 for the Darts.
Bessinger, that's his 51st touchdown pass of the season. That moves him into a tie for 9th place all time in touchdown passes in a season here in the state of Utah. Tied with a guy that Davis fans will know. Jackson Stevens had 51 a couple of years ago. Devin Watson also tied at 51. More touchdown passes he racks up in this game. I mean, he could move up a lot here in the next couple of touchdowns he throws.
We haven't had any first command touchdowns called by Davis tonight, but a reminder at the end of the game we will choose an Oak Lane Advisors player of the game for the Darts. Right now, I don't know where you go. It's been a pretty broad impact game today for Davis. I think Bodie Sparrow's certainly going to be in the running with a 4th down stop and a couple receptions. And Itai Howe's obviously been big, had that great pass there to set up at the goal line. Is Lone Peak back ready to receive. They'll have minute 31 left here in this first half. And excited to see Kepa how aggressive he'll be. They really haven't been able to stretch the field. They've called it, but it hasn't been there. And we'll see if they try to force that here near the end of the half, as this kind of kicked underneath, and it is picked up by one of the up men, and he's got a little bit of room. Look out! How about this? Rumbling across midfield. Great return there from Cubby Hoyle, and Lone Peak going to be set up on the plus side with 1:25 to go.
Great return by Cubby Hoyle. Look, that's a tough ball to catch. It's rolling around. That's why you go with that squib kick. It's a difficult play. But Hoyle looks like he's been there all along. Like that's what he was planning on doing. And he breaks tackles. He gets upfield quick. That's a heck of a play by Hoyle.
As Lone Peak's coming out, want to thank PKJ Design Group, landscape architects and planners, quality, innovative, and environmental design. And, of course, Reef Capital. Expect the best from Reef Capital. A couple more Lone Peak sponsors. This offense comes out, tries to get some momentum back here right before the half. First down for Lone Peak, starting at the 42 of Davis. They'd love to get points here. They'll get the ball to start the second half. Over the middle, that is caught. It is Herget with the reception, has the first to the 30-yard line.
Good job by Kepa staying patient. He created just enough space to find his second or third read. Really well done.
Kepa looking near side. Pula with the catch. Jaron gets out of bounds. He'll pick up 6.
That's tough. I mean, you know you're going to call the name Jaron Pula at some point. Every single play could be the play that he breaks it open. Always have to account for number 5.
Cubby Hoyle is listed as a 6'2", 240-pound junior defensive tackle, and he has the play that maybe keeps Lone Peak in this game.
Love it.
Love it. Wind the clock here. I thought that Lone Peak might have gotten out of bounds. And yeah, I think the white hat, they're going to say, hey, my bad. And so they will. They'll put it back 108. Look, I will give the white hat a lot of credit there. I thought he was out of bounds. I thought that clock should be stopped. He did wind. He was like, wait, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Stopped it, got it fixed here on the clock. We'll leave ours at 102, but there is 108 clock on the clock here in the stadium. Jeff can talk about, refs reffing, and I want to give credit when the reffing is,
Reffing's not always bad.
Do the right
Reffing's
thing.
what they do.
Second down. Kepa looking. Has a man wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Lone Peak. It is Seth Woolley. Busted coverage, and it's a 25-yard touchdown pass for Kepa Niumetolu.
And a great job by Kepa. I think Woolley might have been his third or fourth read on that play. He shows the patience, goes through his progressions, and finds Woolley wide open in the end zone. This Lone Peak offensive line, Tipa Galii on one side, Bot Mulitalo on that other tackle. I mean, they were giving Kepa all day long to throw.
Well, and this is where, because you have the Pulas, there's a lot of attention played there. You got to be ready when your number's called. Pressure off the edge. Boy, nearly got there, but the kick up and good. Lone Peak with the response here late in the half. Just 1 minute to go. And now Davis will come back out with a chance here, Jeff.
Well, look, Davis, minute 2 with 3 timeouts. Trayden Bessinger, maybe the top quarterback of the state of Utah. I think they're going to come out pretty aggressive here before the half.
Yeah, of course, want to remind you, it starts up front with a winning team, and Johnston Law has been helping businesses succeed at every stage for over 15 years. Call or text today, 801-980-5300, and mention Lone Peak Wins for services from Johnston Law. As Davis is coming out here, going to be looking for one of those first they've got 3 First Command timeouts. First Command is committed to making sure those who have sacrificed for our country are taken care of. Their customized planning will help you meet your financial needs while saving for the future and protecting against the unknowns. They can meet with you in person or virtually. Visit them online at firstcommand.com to set up your appointment with one of their 9 agents today. Boy, we had 6 points in the first quarter, and that's out the window.
This has been fun.
This kick can be returned. Fielded from the 1. Looking for a little reverse, and a flag going to come in here. They tried that little toss to Itahau as he lays a hit at the end of it, but that was one, Jeff, where it's like, oh, that might not have been in front, and the official agreed.
And he agreed quickly, and he was right on top of that call. That's going to back Davis up. Otherwise, a good return. Itahau did a great job getting upfield. So instead of starting this at about the 40-yard line, they're going to now be, I think, inside their 10.
Yeah, because that's back at the spot, which the flag is sent at the 13, so half the distance going to mark it back to the 6.
Penalty goes against Davis.
And maybe that changes how aggressive you want to be, starting at your own 6.
Well, here's the thing. Lone Peak has 2 timeouts.
That's
so,
true.
I mean, it's one where this one probably going to slow down a little bit here for these last 50 seconds of this first half. Itahau here in the backfield. Bessinger. Looking near side. Caught. No, yes. I was wondering because that ball came out. The official there ruling it a catch, so that'll give some breathing room up here to the 15.
Breathing room, and it does stop the clock.
Yep.
Tony Grimmer, yeah, I mean, it was close. He broke that play up, but the ref ruled that the catch was made first and out of bounds before he bobbled the ball.
Bessinger. That is caught. Nice move, but brought down there immediately. Coleman with the reception, and we've got a timeout. I thought I heard a whistle.
I thought I heard a whistle. I thought I saw Coach Peary calling for it, but the clock continues to run.
Yeah, did not. I think you're content here if you're Davis. I mean, you might see if you can get something, but Itahau making the first man miss, but Tony Grimmer, the Grim Reaper, is there to limit the gain, and there will be a timeout taken here with 26 seconds left. Here is one of those First Command timeouts.
Kind of an interesting spot to use it. I thought I was with you that it felt like, okay, this is a non-knee is sort of what it felt like, but
here's the thing, though. If you're Lone Peak, you've got 26 seconds left. I actually think you – sorry, if you're Davis, I mean. I actually think you do maybe take a shot here. Because let's say worst circumstance. You throw an interception, they get the ball, 18 seconds left on their side of the 50. I don't know. You might not feel terrible about that. But if you get a big play, maybe it sets you up for a late field goal, get it back to a 2-possession lead. I don't know. We'll see how aggressive they elect to be.
And it's a good call because we know that Coach Peary has a lot of confidence in Luke Jolly as a kicker. If you can get to the 35-yard line, give yourself a chance at a long field goal, then you feel pretty okay.
26 seconds left here in the half. Second down. Bessinger running out of time here, trying to keep the play alive and going to be brought down. Good pursuit there by Lone Peak, but Tag Zundel here down after the play, and boy, had teammates call him to the sideline immediately. Boy, not what you want to see if you're a Lone Peak fan. It looks like he might be grabbing that shoulder. Oh, man.
And he went down in a hurry, and Zundel, he has been big. You look at number 0, it seems like every single time somebody's in the backfield, Tag Zundel is one of them.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. You're watching Lone Peak and Davis in the 6A quarterfinal on KSLSports.com.
At Skin Science Institute, we offer top-tier educational experience in aesthetics, including the finest facility, the most comprehensive curriculum, and a team of highly experienced professionals. We take pride in our fun and exciting culture to give our students a positive learning environment while training on the best machinery the industry has to offer. We ensure our graduates not only receive the best education, but also step into their careers with confidence thanks to our robust job placement support. Start your journey as an esthetician today. Our monthly start dates and financial aid opportunities make it easy to jump in. Visit our website at www.skinscienceinstitute.com to schedule a tour and enroll now.
Zundel was able to walk off. We hope he's okay. It's hard enough that one of these two teams, their season's going to end tonight, but when you're a senior, you want to be able to play it, not go off, via injuries. The clock winding down here. That will do it. Our first half complete. 17-10. Davis leading Lone Peak in the 6A semifinal. We'll have halftime when we come back here on KSLSports.com.
With a tab spend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. Tab Spend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
The Lone Peak night, 17-10 as we get ready to start the second half. Dane Stewart, Jeff Hansen with you. Jeff, your thoughts on that first half?
It's everything we thought it would be. This game has been fun. It's been close. It's been competitive. These are two teams that are pretty evenly matched. I think that the most surprising thing for me so far in this game, Dane, it's been pretty clean football. You haven't seen a lot of penalties. You haven't seen a lot of mistakes. There's been a couple of almost turnovers, but really, it's been a pretty clean game. And I look at the rest of this second half. Who's going to come up with that big play and force that turnover? How composed does everybody stay as you get close down the stretch? Those could be big storylines as this one comes to a close.
We were talking before the game and the impact of turnovers in this game. We have not had a turnover yet. Knock on wood if you're with me. But, Lone Peak did have the one turnover on downs. Davis got the stop, but it's been, to your point, it's been clean. 199 total yards for Davis, 120 yards for Lone Peak. They've gone about it very different ways. Lone Peak's probably been stronger running the football than throwing the football. Davis has been much stronger throwing the football than running the football. Ready to start our second half. Davis has never defeated Lone Peak. They're 24 minutes away from their first win in program history over Lone Peak. 0-3 coming into this one, and they've played a pretty good game, pretty good recipe. We'll see how they defensively match up with this Lone Peak offense as Lone Peak will get the ball here to start the second half.
Yeah, that's going to be the story for me. Can this Davis defense come up with enough stops? So far, they've done a pretty good job of containing the Pula twins and really Keppa and really the entirety of the passing game. But those Pula twins are too good. You know they're going to find a way to impact the game. They do every single time they're on the field. Can you continue to bottle them up? That's going to be the story.
That's going to be the story. And how does Lone Peak try to free them up a little bit? Because they really haven't been able to get them the ball down the field. We'll see if that changes. Davis ready to kick off. 17-10, the lead for the Darts. And we are 24 minutes away from having our first known semifinalist in 6A as this kickoff into the end zone for the touchback.
It's been fun. It's been real
great.
fun. I'm just as excited at halftime as I was at kickoff. that tells me it's been a great football game.
It's been a great game, and we talk about, each of these defenses have had their opportunities to make plays and give additional opportunities. We have had some missed opportunities with turnovers. We've had each of them stand up, make big-time stops, and it'll be Niumetolu and Barney here starting at their own 20. And it is play action. Kepa looking, sideline, and nearly intercepted again. Boy, you could see Connor Brown was reading that all play.
Yeah, Connor Brown just baiting Kepa into making that throw. He's going to kick himself for not coming down with it, but a great play by number 11 to force the incompletion. Yeah, he had that one read from the snap, didn't he?
That's 2 plays where Davis defenders have had 2 hands on the ball.
And 2 interceptions that would be interceptions that would have been right on the goal line.
Right on the goal line. They'll hand to Barney here on second down. He's got a big chunk run. He'll gain 11, maybe 12 on the carry. That's a first down.
And that's the element that I think Lone Peak has in their pocket seemingly every time. That ground game, this offensive line is winning at the line of scrimmage. We haven't seen a lot of stuff off tackle. Now you see it there. They go off of Mulitalo, and that's a big hole that he's got on that left side.
Davis' defensive line has actually, I think, played pretty good. They allowed about 60 rushing yards in that first half. As this kept by Kepa, he's going to run away from Johnny Parker. I don't blame him, but it's a good decision. He's able to pick up 8 there.
Yeah, great athleticism by Kepa. That play was not designed for the quarterback to go that way. That was just sheer athleticism by number 12 to make that read and get to the edge.
Lone Peak, when they can operate in second, third, and shorts, they've been extremely effective tonight. Got a 2nd and 1. Barney with the carry again. Left side again, Jeff. And look out, he's across the 50 and a touchdown saving tackle by Bodie.
Yeah, and there it is again. Watch this offensive line. Bot Mulitalo is winning off the edge. He's creating really, really big seams off that tackle. Davis is going to have to adjust because that's been there a couple of times already this half.
Speaking of Bot, a young man who played D-line a majority of his career this year, moved to the offensive line, and he's been fantastic when he's been healthy for Lone Peak. First down, staying on the ground. Here's Tahi running right through the teeth, picking up about 3.
And that's where I think Davis has done really, really well, is up the middle. They've done a pretty good job. Lone Peak has had some success. They're able to pick up a couple of yards seemingly every time they go to it. But Davis has held up really well up the middle. It's been that stuff on the edge that has been tough.
2-by-2 formation here as we approach the 10-minute mark. Tahi trying to stretch outside and hit there by Itai Howe. He'll pick up 4.
And on the other side, we talk about Bot Mulitalo, but the right side's pretty darn good too with Tipa Galliai. He's also a college player in his own right. He'll end up playing his ball in your neck of the woods. He's going to the Big Sky. Tipa Galliai, I think he's going to the Big Sky.
You know which one?
He could still change his mind. Give me a minute.
All right, we've got a minute here. 3rd and 3 for Lone Peak. Oh, open over the middle as Davis brought pressure, bouncing off of it. How about that? Herget with the physicality after the reception has the first down.
Yeah, great read by Kepa. Quick decision by Kepa to find Herget wide open on that hot route. He moves the chains.
You're speaking of Big Sky. Kepa was also committed to Big Sky. I think that's still his firm commitment.
There. Yeah, Idaho State.
Yep. First down here. Kepa will hand off. Here's Barney through the line of scrimmage. That big bruising run, able to pick up 7 yards on that carry. Make it 9. My apologies. Boy, Lone Peak, this is kind of how they started the game, Jeff. Run, 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 and they're asserting that physicality right back here to start this 3rd quarter. That's a first down on the run by Tate Barney.
And Lone Peak, they're just, when they get going downhill, they're tough. I mean, they're as tough as anybody. And then you get to here, and that's where you have Cherampula and Kenampula on the outside. One play action after all these runs down the entire length of the field. and you've got two dynamic wide receivers on the outside.
And I think about that Skyridge game, how many times it was one-on-one, throw it up, let him make a play. Did they do that here? Kepa looking on the out. That is caught. Touchdown. Lone Peak. And it is Kenan Pula. I don't know how that ball made its way through the defense, Jeff.
Yeah, that's a great ball by Kepa. Great catch. And Kenan Pula with a little bit of swag as he gets into the end zone to potentially tie this game up. Great route. Kenan Pula, we're talking about all these colleges. Kenan and Jaron currently committed to Utah. They're going to have great college career. I mean, they've just been fantastic football players.
They'll meet you in the muss.
Well, there's some big things happening for the Pula twins. There's a school out in Oklahoma that's trying real hard to bring them in on an official visit here in the next couple of weeks.
Fascinating. 17 apiece. Lone Peak, Davis tied up. The Knights starting the second half exactly how they wanted to. Want to thank some of our Lone Peak sponsors. Stroformance is a science-based speed and performance training system using state-of-the-art technology and data to train thousands of athletes and is a proud sponsor of the Lone Peak football team. Also want to thank doTERRA, a proud sponsor of Lone Peak. Their products help athletes around the world maintain the highest level of health and wellness. Learn more about how you can up your health and wellness game at doTERRA.com. And of course, Tiny Hero, a Utah nonprofit giving families hope and help when their baby is born with CDH. They provide support, grants, and a community standing with them every step of the way. Visit tinyhero.org to learn more. Davis ready to receive for their first possession of this second half. Going to be looking for more Henry Walker Holmes touchdowns. Reestablish that lead.
And as it stands right now, Tipa, just to put a bow on this, not currently committed, has offers from Weber State, Northern Arizona, and certain Idaho team.
Oh, you know. We can make this real easy. Real easy. This kickoff, feel it off the bounce. Davis with a return, got some speed here, and Bird able to take it up to the 28-yard line. That's where the Dart offense will come out. Knotted up, 17 apiece.
And Bird comes hobbling off after that kickoff return. And he's going to get checked out here. Ty Howe's done a lot of the heavy lifting in the run game, but Bird had that big touchdown run. That will be something worth monitoring here as this game goes along.
Yeah, kind of, he's one of their more speed guys out of the backfield, both passing attack and on the ground. Look, and Jackson's quick, right? But that'll be something to watch. 5 wide here for the Darts to start this second half. And looking over the middle, Morrison with the catch. Morrison turns upfield, getting to the 43-yard line. First down.
That's just what this Davis offense does. And Morrison is able to get just enough space. Bessinger puts it right where it needs to be. And just like we were in the first half, feels like we're just right back on the ball. We're moving quick.
Bessinger under pressure, gonna run here again. And we'll just throw that away. Had a couple of guys there. Had Bodie as well as Coleman. Couldn't connect with either of them, incomplete.
And that's one of the most underrated elements of Bessinger's game. Look, that goes down as an incompletion in the scorebook, but his ability to feel that pressure and get out of the pocket and make that an incompletion instead of a sack and a loss of 8, that's a huge play in a game like this. And Bessinger does that all the time. You don't think of him as this mobile guy, but he's really shifty in the pocket.
You don't think of because he doesn't run a lot, but he can extend plays and allow guys to get open, and that's his athleticism on display. Is second down. He's going to look deep for Bodie, and Sparrow makes the catch! Oh my goodness, Bodie Sparrow going up and over the defense.
What a play by Bodie Sparrow. He goes up over the top of the defender. That's a true moss right there. He comes down. It looks like he's maybe cramping up after that play. Those muscles deserve a break after an athletic catch like that.
Yeah, boy, that's one where, man, Bodie Sparrow. I thought it was just going to be, hey, play it to incomplete. Bodie's never going to give up on a play. What a catch by Bodie Sparrow.
That's a huge play.
Trying to do everything he can to get Davis back to their first semifinal. You know the last time Davis was in a semi?
2009.
Look at someone did their homework.
Someone did some prep today.
How about that?
After all season long, playoff Jeff is here. I am ready to go.
Yes, 2009. Last time they made a semifinal. They've had a lot of quarterfinal appearances. Haven't been able to get over that hump. And
if I remember, 2009, that would have been like the Troy Hines era of Davis football.
that's probably close.
Probably about
they beat
that
Hunter
time.
that year. They went to the state championship game and lost to Bingham. It's been a while. Bessinger going to throw this to Morrison. Morrison trying to get around the tackler. Can't do it. And guess who? There's the freshman.
He is so explosive from that linebacker spot. Kingston Stroshine's ability to read a play really quickly and then just out-athlete everybody else to go and make a play. Man, he is going to be special. He's already got colleges after him, and he's going to go to junior high next week. He is an unbelievable football player.
I wasn't nearly that good in junior high, Jeff.
No, I wasn't that good at anything. I could barely tie my shoes.
I was pretty mean at paper football in junior high. I was okay at that. A loss of 2 on that play. Second down. Bessinger. See him moving around the pocket of the end zone. Touchdown! Isaac Morrison. How about Bessinger keeping that alive?
And there it is. We talked about it earlier in the drive. His ability to maneuver in the pocket and create space is special. And then he delivers a dart to Isaac Morrison in the end zone. Just a huge response from Davis. Look at this offense. They've been able to do what they want in this game. You got to keep pace, and it is really tough to keep pace with Trayden Bessinger.
2 super impressive throws and catches for Davis on that drive. Is the point after good, and the lead back to 7. Bessinger to Morrison. 24-17 darts. Of course, want to thank Henry Walker Homes for supporting Davis High. That's a Henry Walker Homes touchdown. They get you in your home faster with communities in Davis and Salt Lake counties. Henry Walker Homes provides the custom look you want with the craftsmanship of an experienced builder. They work together with you to ease your concerns. It's like you're part of their family. With mortgage promotions, they can get you in your dream home today. Visit them online at henrywalkerhomes.com.
Can Davis convert? They've had a couple of turnover opportunities.
Yeah.
Right? If you're looking at an outlet like Pro Football Focus, they'd call them turnover-worthy plays. There have been a couple of turnover-worthy plays from this Lone Peak offense that have not registered as turnovers. Can Davis force another one of those and find a way to convert? Because if not, it seems like Lone Peak offensively has been able to do pretty well what they want.
Yeah, you touched a sore spot there, Jeff, is off the return. Look out. Big lane. He's had good returns today. It's Hergen across midfield, and special teams for Lone Peak, Jeff, making their impact in this one.
Yeah, special teams, this kickoff return team making a case for, hey, just kick it in the end zone every time because we're going to try to take it to the house. We've seen this Lone Peak return team make huge plays all season long, and it feels like they have lived right here at this 45-yard line.
They've had great field position all night. Enjoy the game with peace of mind. Your home is protected 24/7 with Safe Streets. Smart Security, serving 46 states with the country's top 5-star rating. 150,000 5-star reviews in 3 years. You want home automation? Leave it to the nation's best. At Safe Streets, visit safestreets.com. Lone Peak right back to the ground. And here's Fanua. He had maybe 1 touch in the first half, but there's that speed on display, picking up 9 here on the run.
And you watch Fanua just patiently let those blocks develop. He sees the left side once again, left side of that offensive line, just winning their battles. He's able to cut back the opposite direction and not quite a first down, pick up 9 yards on the play.
Past the midway point here in our third quarter. Kepa gonna go deep for Jared to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Good coverage there by Isaac Morrison. Lone Peak wanted a flag. They're not gonna get one.
Excellent coverage by Morrison. He makes a touchdown on one end, and he's going up against one of the best receivers in the state of Utah. He stays with him stride for stride, and when that ball goes up, you very regularly see Jaron Pula win those battles, but Isaac Morrison is right there, and he gets the win on that one.
Jaron going to come off the field here on this 3rd and 1 play. I think we all probably know what to expect. Barney in the backfield, that may give you even a larger hint. And it's a first down.
He's just so fast. He's so big and so fast. When number 4 gets the ball, he doesn't need a ton of space, especially in those short yardage situations. He just goes so hard into the line. He'll just barrel forward for a first down. When he's able to get that little crease, it's 6.5 yards a carry this season.
We mentioned we stream all games for both these two programs. We saw Barney early in the year, and you fall in love with the way he plays, and he's demoed that here tonight. As there's another chunk, 9 yards there on that carry.
And it continues to be the left side of the offensive line that is just winning battles. They are creating huge gaps for these running backs to find.
Lone Peak quickly to the line of scrimmage. Second down. Nice concept there. They get it to Kennan on the out route. That's good for a first down.
Ball complete at the sideline.
When Kepa's making quick decisions like that, man, he is really tough to defend.
And here's my thing. When they establish the ground game, which they have, now as a defense, you get the underneath stuff, and then you can open up the shots. Like, it just makes this offense so difficult to defend.
Yeah.
And you see Davis right now. I mean, they're backs against the wall here. It's in the red zone, first down for the Knights. Play action. Kepa gonna keep it. Flag in on the play. Kepa to the goal line, stretches, and they say down at the 1, but I don't know that that's gonna stand.
Yeah, I think this one's coming back. Looked like there was a hold. One of the interior Lone Peak offensive linemen just had the jersey of a Davis defender. This one will come back.
We talk about this Lone Peak team. You know, this is kind of crazy when you look at Lone Peak's playoffs. If you go back to 2018, there's only 1 year that they have not played Corner Canyon in the playoffs.
Wow.
Only once. I mean,
that's a lot.
Pretty crazy.
That's
and
a
most
lot
of those
of
are semis and championship games, by the way. It is a lot of corner. First down, first and 20. As they'll run, Barney. Davis there defensively is, I think it was Sidaway getting in there on the tackle.
Yeah, I think that was number 24, Paxton Sidaway gets in. Really good pressure by that Davis defense on that play. This run game has been, I mean, it's been dominant for Lone Peak here in the second half, but they won that rep.
Another second down, this one from much longer. Davis showing some pressure. Ooh, I thought he might look for Pula. Instead, he goes underneath. That caught, made back all the penalty yards and more. Was that Holmes on the reception?
Yeah, Ledger Holmes from that little slot spot. He does a good job after the catch, getting upfield. Makes this a 3rd and manageable. Call it 3rd and 7.
The slot spot?
The slot spot.
I like that.
That was an accident.
Well,
but it worked out.
I'm not going to lie, Jeff. You could make something with that.
We've got the slot spot and the touchdown space. Things are good.
3rd down and 7 here for Lone Peak, trying to match Davis drives. Darts bring pressure. Kepa to the end zone, and it is intercepted. There it is. Isaac Morrison coming to take it away from Jaron Pula.
Isaac Morrison, my goodness. That's a heck of a play to come down. We talked about it, those turnover-worthy plays. There'd been a couple of them, and Davis had not been able to convert. Not that time. The pressure forces Kepa to speed up, and Isaac Morrison, for the second time on this drive, wins that one-on-one battle against Pula.
Boy, heck of a job there. And you know, because if you get that stop, they can come out, kick a field goal. It's still, you know, now you're trading one possession here. Davis can now get back to that 14-point lead. They had that in the second quarter. They gave up that late drive, and then the first drive of the second half. They can reestablish it here with a good drive and points as they will start at their own 20 after the touchback on the pick. And they will run. This is Itai Howe able to take it up to the 25. We were talking before the game, Jeff. I blurted out a magic number on how many times I thought Davis would have to run the ball tonight. You remember that number?
I think you said 20 times.
I said 20 times. They had 12 in the first half. We've got a carry there. I think they've done a pretty good job of staying with a run game and trying to keep this Lone Peak defense honest.
Right. It doesn't have to be a dominant run game.
Yeah, you don't have to run for 200.
Right. It just has to be enough,
right,
to keep everybody honest.
Second down, about 4 to go as Itahau gets the carry again. And, boy, that Lone Peak defense all over that run. Not much room there for Jackson.
You know, and that's one thing about this Lone Peak team, and there was Tony Grimmer. It feels like every time there's a tackle, Grimmer's in on the play.
I mean, Halloween's over, Tony, you know?
He's really special from the linebacker spot. Lone Peak's been in a situation like this before, and we've seen that defense come up with game-changing plays. They're not shaken. They're not worried. They're down 1 score. This Lone Peak defense isn't going to be intimidating.
Third down, a chance for this Lone Peak defense now to make a stamp on this game as Davis will reset here. Sparrow in motion. They'll throw out. This is Itahau, and boy, Lone Peak just had that so well played. Just not a lot of room to go there for Jackson.
Yeah, just a great job. And there's our guy once again, Kingston Stroshine, in on the play. And he forces a 4th down, and the Davis punt team will come onto the field. You don't see a whole lot of this Davis punt team.
That is the first stop today for this Lone Peak defense, and they needed it. They got it.
Yeah, that's a huge stop.
And now it'll be interesting. We talk about the kickoff returns. Boy, could you get something on a punt return? Because Lone Peak special teams, they've looked strong today.
There's a lot of speed from these return guys.
In fact, this is the first punt of the game because Lone Peak has not punted. As this is a spiral, going to take a Davis bounce.
And a really smart decision. You lose some yards there, but Sa Tanuvasa, he thought about maybe trying to make a play there. He wisely lets that go.
Yeah.
You give up some field position, but you don't risk a turnover.
Yeah, you don't want to play with fire in that situation. As Lone Peak is coming back out, want to thank some of our sponsors, including G2G Protein Bar, fresh, healthy, and delicious. When you eat one, you'll know. Also want to thank Skin Science, presenting sponsor of Lone Peak football. Start your journey as an esthetician today. Visit SkinScienceInstitute.com to schedule a tour and enroll now. Lone Peak will run on first down. And good run it is. 10 yards there for Tahi.
That left side of the offensive line, there's just not enough you could say about him. Bot Mulitalo at tackle. Gavin Gunstream from that. He's another college football player in Gunstream. But Mulitalo and Gunstream, that left side, they've just been able to set the edge this second half, and Lone Peak is getting whatever they want in the ground game off the left.
You talked about all the talent on Davis, but you're kind of referencing it. There's a lot of talent on Lone Peak that's going to continue to play football after this year. There's another gashing run by Tahi, this time picking up 9.
Yeah, and Gunstream, one of those names, I believe, just a junior, 6'6", 275. He's going to become more of one of those household names. This spring, I think, is going to be huge. And you're right, just a ton of talent for Lone Peak.
That's a big cat.
Yeah, he's big.
12 seconds left here in the quarter. As second down, they'll run the play and they'll run the rock. And Tahi lost his footing there. He'll get back to the line, nothing more. And with that, the third quarter will come to a close. 12 minutes to go. Will it be Lone Peak? Will it be Davis? We'll find out as the fourth quarter coming up next here on KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. Start of the fourth quarter. Third down for Lone Peak. They run, they pick it up. Tate Barney still on his feet across the 50 to the 40-yard line.
Tate Barney's just so tough to bring down. When he gets a full head of steam behind him, he is as bruising of a running back as there is in the state of Utah. You saw it there. Looked like it was almost a gain of 3 or 4. He's able to bust it for a gain of 15.
The run game been so impressive for the Knights tonight. Kepa to throw on first down. Looking near side, that's Pula. Kennan with the reception, he'll pick up a couple.
Really well defended by Davis on that play. That was the first time that we'd seen that second safety come up, and you had single high safety there for Davis. You could see Kepa and the offense, look, they wanted to take a shot, but Davis did a really good job staying in their lane, staying disciplined, and keeping everything in front of them.
Davis Ferry had to come off kind of holding that arm as he did. He's been great for this Davis defense. They won't have him here on second down as Lone Peak running again. Barney stacked up. Big moment for that Davis defensive front, including Parker and Montgomery to help make a stop. It'll bring up third down.
Yeah, big number, Caden Montgomery, number 9. He's got the long hair. We didn't get to see him when we were here at Davis earlier in the year. He's a difference maker. Coach Peary, before the game, talked about how excited he was to have him back on the defensive line. Comes up with a big play there.
We just got updated stats through the third from the Pettingills. Again, thank you so much. Lone Peak has ran for 267 yards.
Goodness.
Kepa throws to the flat. Barney picks up the first down, still on his feet down the sideline before stepping out of bounds at the 22. Wow.
Number 4, man, he just does not go down. 6'1", 210 pounds, and he just goes like he is shot out of a cannon every time he touches the ball.
Boy, and I mean, we talk about, a Jackson Itaiaha who loves to deliver hits, play through contact. There's your version for Lone Peak and Tate Barney, because would not give up on that play. Change of pace here. Fanua. Shifty run, taking it inside the 20 to the 14.
And that's what makes this Lone Peak rushing attack so difficult to defend. You've got Thunder and Barney and Tahi, and then they bring in Fanua, more of a shifty guy. He's tough to defend. And all of that doesn't even mention Kepa, who could pull any of these and get to the edge. He's as fast as anybody on the field.
And 2 of the top receivers in the state, right?
They're good.
Second down. They'll stay on the ground. Fanua, and that speaks a little bit to Region 3. Lone Peak beat Corner. They did not win another regular season game. Lost to AF, lost to Skyribs, lost in double overtime, lost to Lehigh. But some of that is just the injuries mounting up, trying to get kids healthy, and their Week 10 opponent backed out, so they had a couple weeks to get rested, healthy, and they look healthy. This looks like the team that beat Corner. This looks like that team we expect for Lone Peak.
Yeah, when Lone Peak is healthy, they can beat anybody, as we've seen. I mean, they are as good as there is in the state of Utah.
They'll run. Kepa kept it, turning in, and brings this down to the 5-yard line.
And there it is, right? At any play, you think you finally have this rushing attack bottled up because you've slowed down a running back on a play. That's when Kepa could pull it, and he's as tough as any of them as there is to bring down.
Second down here coming up for the Knights. As that rotation in the backfield continues on, Barney in the backfield here for this second down play. They stay on the ground. Yes, they do. Barney to the end zone. Touchdown, Lone Peak.
And a good job. Once again, it's the left side of the offensive line. Lone Peak brought in a heavy package, brought in tight end Cameron Ray to assist Gunstream and Mulitalo on the left side. And yeah, they've been so good already on the left side. And then you bring in extra help. Tate Barney could have walked into the end zone.
So Lone Peak able to cap off that drive, and a PAT away from tying it back up. This kick chipped up and good. 24 apiece. Lone Peak Davis tied up inside 9 to play here in regulation. Of course, Lone Peak on that drive. Want to thank some of our Lone Peak sponsors who made streams here on KSL Sports Rewind all year long possible. Jeff, we talk about how strong that running game has been. Well, it starts up front with a winning team, and Johnston Law has been helping businesses succeed at every stage for over 15 years. Call or text today 801-980-5300 and mention Lone Peak wins when you talk to Johnston Law. Want to thank Reeve Capital, expect the best, as well as PKJ Design Group, landscape architects and planners, quality, innovative, and environmental design. Of course, Kessler Allaire for a range of reasons. Call Kessler Allaire Insurance Services. And finally, National Auto Plaza, where you can find the best deals on the car, truck, and SUV with their legendary $3,500 rebate. Check out National Auto Plaza for your next auto need.
This is what you want, playoff football. Fourth quarter tie football game. This could go any direction. Hey, this has been everything we thought it would be when we arrived in Kaysville tonight.
Kicked off. Davis can get a return. No, that just crosses the end zone, so there will be no return here for the Darts. And of course, while the Dart offense comes out, want to thank Black Flag. It can be grueling to do the same work over and over, let alone fitting in your workout with all your other responsibilities. Black Flag Gym in Kaysville offers different programs like Open Gym, XFit Pivot to keep your workouts fresh and keep pushing you to new limits. They even offer daycare for those busy taking care of kids. Visit them at 457 West Deseret Drive or online at blkflg.com/gym to get your first month for just $1. Davis starting at their own 20. Lone Peak showing pressure. Bessinger over the middle. Caught. And Baggett looking for a little seam. Able to pick up about 6.
Baggett has been really good tonight. Number one, he maybe doesn't command the headlines that some of these Davis wide receivers do, but Tyson Baggett is a crucial part of this offense. And it's because of plays like that where he's able to just keep everybody ahead of the chains, keep this Davis offense on pace.
Feels kind of surprising. We really haven't had a lot of deep looks tonight. The one was Sparrow. That was probably the longest of the game, was 35 yards, but everything else has been kind of short and intermediate as the penalty flag coming in here. And the back judge here calling delay a game. The clock say 25. It must have reset when it hit 0.
Oh, my goodness.
Look, the back judge's primary job pre-snap is to watch the play clock, and he was on it. Now, it is interesting because that play clock, it said 25 the moment I looked at it, but it is a penalty. Delay of game will back Davis up here. 2nd and 8. Bessinger looking for Sparrow, caught, first down. That's been Bodie's route all night tonight, Jeff.
And Bodie Sparrow, he is not afraid to go over the middle of the field. He goes up, knows that contact is coming, delivers a great catch. What a ball by Bessinger. Something he does really well. If he's going to miss, that ball's going to go 30 yards over everybody's head. He doesn't miss in bad spots, and he lets his receivers go make athletic plays like that one.
Maybe that's why he's just had the 3 picks this year. He does take extremely good care of the football. First down. Bessinger. Oh, what a play to Itaihow. First down and more across midfield. Love the headiness there of Trayton Bessinger. Have a look.
And this is a really, really great throw to lead Itaihow into the right spot where he's able to just catch it with a full head of steam. That's a really good play.
Lone Peak players down here, and that might be Afu. It is. Starting DB for this Lone Peak defense. As he gets back to his feet here, they'll help him off. That's a big piece. When you've got this receiving core of Davis, you need all your DBs healthy if you're Lone Peak, and they're going to be down for at least a play here.
And Afu's done a really great job tonight. Davis has kind of stayed away from him for the most part, so we'll want to watch to see how quickly number 6 is able to get back on the field for the Knights.
As teams being called back out here on the field, they each have 3 timeouts remaining, and each kind of stealing one here.
It's a tie game. You know, I think the refs are awarding them this. They didn't steal anything.
I will say this. I think Crew's done a good job tonight.
Fantastic job.
In what has been a great, great battle here at Davis High School. Little double move. Looking for Sparrow. Just overthrew him out of bounds. I love the design there. Afu goes out. You attack it with your best guy. just couldn't connect.
Just couldn't connect, and really maybe the first throw tonight that I think Bessinger's going to wish he had back. Sparrow did a good job on the route, selling the double move, had a step on the safety. That ball just got a little bit away from Bessinger. You don't see that very often. That usually goes for 6.
And Afu right back out on the field here for this Lone Peak secondary.
And go figure, he's right back on Bodie Sparrow.
Right back on Bodie Sparrow. They'll give to Bodie on that little crossing route. Turns upfield. It's just another 15-yard gain for Sparrow.
Sparrow, man, he's just so explosive. We can't say it enough. His ability to get into that top gear and get downfield, it is special.
There are not a lot of receivers who can run any route. You can put him in the slot, you can put him outside, and Bodie just can do anything. Like, it's crazy.
And what makes it so incredible to watch is he never comes off the field. He doesn't show any signs of being tired at all. He plays safety every rep against the Pulas and then can do that offensively.
First down for Davis as we approach 6.5 minutes. Our clock is a bit ahead. We're going to pause ours. There's 6:30 on the clock here. Taking a shot, has Baggett.
That's a really good ball by Bessinger. That's a ball that Baggett is going to want to have back. Great read before the snap to sense that pressure, call the hot route, and Bessinger puts it right where it needs to be, but as it is, it's 2nd down and 10.
Sigh of relief from the Lone Peak fans and a sigh of unbelief from the Davis fans. That's one Morrison usually brings in. 2nd down. And that one incomplete, and here comes the flag. Multiple flags. Actually, there's one in the backfield as well, as Bessinger is down here. Just got helped up. Might be a couple penalties here on Lone Peak.
I think we take a look at this. We'll see the pass fall incomplete. With the double move, I think there's going to be either a pass interference or a hold, but Bessinger took a hit late.
So pass interference on Lone Peak. And then there's the roughing, the passer penalty. We'll move it 15 yards, and now Davis in the red zone.
Roughing the passer.
And we saw him hop off the field, Makayo Bird. Haven't seen him get back onto the field. This is a spot on the field where he is very important for this Davis offense. Expect to see Ty Howe kind of step into that role, but we'll see how Davis plays it.
First and 10. They'll hand off. Jackson, boy, look at that. Look at that. Just horizontal, those jab steps. My goodness. That's a lot of work for 2 yards.
You don't normally get audible oohs from the crowd on a gain of 1, but you saw some of that shiftiness from Ty Howe on display there.
Approaching the midway point in this 4th quarter, and now your possession's becoming priceless for both these two teams. Baggett in the backfield with Ty Howe. Looking for Morrison, caught, and the Grim Reaper is there for this Lone Peak defense.
Fantastic discipline from Tony Grimmer on this play. He had this screen sniffed out from the very beginning, stayed home and read it, let it come to him, and then made a great play. If he doesn't make that tackle, that goes for 6.
Big 3rd down play. Bessinger looks for Bodie. Got to get to the 5. He's got it. First down, Davis. All reliable, moving the sticks for the Darts.
Man, that happened quick, didn't it? That was a 3rd and 9. And you just turn to that quick passing game and trust your receiver to go make a play. Bodie Sparrow did in a big way.
There's a lot of whoosh on that play, and if you know, you know, right?
Yeah. Pew pew. Pew pew pew.
Well, it was a pew pew first, followed by a whoosh. All sorts of Dart sounds on that 3rd and 9. They'll stay on the ground here. And Lone Peak there to match this running attack of Ty Howe.
And interesting, Davis, they line up under center. They have a heavy package in. Now here come the wide receivers. Looked like they tried to catch Lone Peak off guard with that rushing attack, but really good job by the Lone Peak front to stay home.
Davis got the ball just under 9 minutes. Lone Peak scored with 8:51 to go. We're at 4.5 left. This has been a good drive. It's taken a lot of time off. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Lone Peak. Their next possession probably be the last opportunity. Davis love to get to 7-point advantage here. Bessinger looking, end zone, incomplete, and a flag comes in. They were trying over the middle for Isaac Morrison.
And a little pump fake from Bessinger. Looked like it maybe baited that Lone Peak defense into some contact.
Now this will not be an automatic first down.
Right.
High school rules are different. It will be half the distance to the goal, and it will still be third.
Replay the down, right?
Yes.
So back
yes.
to second. Second?
Third. It was third. The down marker had third.
I think that was second down.
Well, I thought he indicated third as well. Now I think the down marker is asking for clarification.
Down marker, it's first down. So we're all over the place.
We will have a down. How's that? I know it's not fourth. I know that's not, and I know it's not first.
There we go.
He does signal second here. So Jeff, you were right. Sorry for doubting you.
Nah, you should doubt me. You called it out earlier in the game. Bob Mulitalo, he doesn't play every rep on defensive line. When Lone Peak gets into the red zone here, when that defense gets into the red zone, number 52 comes in. He is a dominant defensive lineman. Look for him to create some havoc on this play.
Now Coach Brockbank wanted to have a clarifying conversation here, and the official's coming over.
He agrees with you. I'm sure he's thinking, hey, Dan is telling me that it was third down.
I'm sure that's exactly. In fact, let me just call him right now. Hey, what do you? Just loop me in on this conversation, Coach. Appears though the officials are content. As we start the play clock there, 4:11 to go. Where do you look here, Jeff?
I think you got to go. You got to play some clock a little bit. I'm going to Itai Howe in that run game, and if he gets in, great, and if he doesn't, you take 40 seconds off.
He's got the OC headset on here, speaking of Jeff. That's exactly what they do. Itai Howe turning upfield. Touchdown, Davis.
That's a huge play by Jackson Itai Howe, but that credit goes to the Davis offensive line. They bring in their big, heavy package. We talk about Bob Mulitalo and bringing him in, but right there, it was Davis getting the best of Mulitalo in that Lone Peak defensive front that is so big and so good. Really, really well blocked, and Itai Howe does a great job staying patient, let those blocks develop, and barrel into the end zone.
To go up by 7. Good pursuit, doesn't matter, it is good. 31-24, the Darts, 4:06 away from advancing to their first semifinal since '09. Jeff, I love you call it the O-line there because, look, we talk about Davis has ran the football, but they have not ran it with a ton of yardage success. And on that play, you're second down from the 3-4, and your O-line wins against Bob Mulitalo and others. That's a huge play by the group up front in order to allow Davis to retake the lead.
Yeah, and that's a big confidence builder for that offensive line. Now you hope that the Davis defense, if you're that offensive line, you're hoping that your defense gets a stop, but if they don't and you got to come back in a hurry-up situation, you take that play if you're an offensive lineman and you say, hey, no, we are capable of doing whatever we need to do. That's a huge moment for the Davis OL.
And here's a moment that might have the home side holding their breath a little bit.
Yes.
We've seen big returns from Lone Peak. I don't know. I'm maybe I just kick this out of bounds and give it to him at the 35. I don't know.
I think Coach Peary is going to his kicker and saying, hey, you just got to cross the goal line, whatever it takes.
That's the intention, but it will be returned from the 2. Looking right side. has a nice seam. And that return tripped up at the 30. Nice tackle made there by Tom Lever. And Lone Peak come back out on offense.
That's a big tackle by Lever. I mean, as it was, he still gets out to the 32-yard line, but if Lever doesn't make that play, that could have gone for a lot more. And now here you are. This is what Coach Brockbank told me before the game. It's the leadership of Kepa. Coming back at quarterback, finally healthy, said, hey, he brings a different element to this team. This is where you look for that leadership.
They'll start with Barney on first down, lowers the shoulder pads, takes a head, gain here of 6. And that's where, his experience getting to a state championship could be last year, right? Hey, guys, we're okay. We're all right. We're going to go do what we want to do. My thing is 3:45 to go, running clock. Their success has been running the football. This time is going to evaporate quickly. They do have all 3 timeouts still, but their clock management is going to be very important here.
Yeah, going to be critical.
Second down run with Barney. Nice hole up the right side. Lowering the shoulder pads. Tate Barney to the 40-yard line. A chunk run from the Barnman.
Oh, Tate Barney looking like Cam Scataboo out there. He just lowers his shoulders, invites the contact, bounces off of everybody. And now, all of a sudden, run game, running clock, who cares? When you got Tate Barney, you cruise right down the field.
Yes, you do. That big offensive line having success here for Lone Peak. They'll go back to Tate. Tate, he's got a first down. He's taking on contact to the 24. Move the sticks again.
I mean, you just have to tip your cap to the way that the Lone Peak offensive line is just winning at the line of scrimmage. They are creating huge holes for Barney to run through.
You can't bring more guys in the box.
Yeah, this is tough. Now, because I know this is going through some other coaches' minds, if you do score and you've had this running success, do you go for 2?
That's why you're the analyst. Here's Fanua, tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Nice job coming up there from that defensive back position. Cooper Harson coming in to make the stop.
Yeah, really well done by Harson. Bring down that Lone Peak rushing attack. If you get those tackles on first contact, then it's going to feel like a win.
Do you go for 2?
I think so. I mean, up
the
until
way
that
I'm running
play,
the football,
yeah,
I think I am too.
I think so. So these are big plays for Davis's defense to try to keep Lone Peak out of the end zone.
I'm actually going to ask you a question after this play as we approach the 2-minute mark. Kepa will give to Tahi. Tahi up the middle inside the 20 to the 14. That's a first down. All right, let me ask you this question, Jeff. We talked about you can't bring more guys in the box because you don't want to leave your receivers, on one-on-one. Do you say, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do because if they beat me over the top, then I at least have time offensively, and the DBs really have had good coverage today. Do you say, hey, I'm going to go one-on-one and try to commit to stopping the run game?
I think you'd be really tempted, and now as the field starts to shrink, I think you absolutely do, and leave your corners maybe with one single high safety, but leave them in some one-on-ones and make Lone Peak win through the air.
That's what they're doing here. It will be Barney trying to get outside, now turning inside. He'll still pick up 6 yards. My goodness. So we're down to 1:15.
The play calling tells me that Coach Brockbank is thinking the same thing, that if we get into the end zone, let's just try to end it.
Let's see. I don't know if I can do this or not. Inside a minute. Over the line of scrimmage, close to that first down, but just short. Clock still moving, and now we'll get a timeout. It is a Lone Peak timeout, but because we haven't talked much about First Command, I want to remind you Davis timeouts are brought to you by First Command. They're committed to making sure those who have sacrificed for our country are taken care of. Their customized planning will help you meet your financial needs while saving for the future and protecting against the unknowns. They can meet with you in person or virtually. Visit them online at firstcommand.org to set up your appointment with one of their 9 agents today. I also want to thank Oak Lane Advisors. We'll award our Davis Player of the Game after the game. Thanks to Oak Lane Advisors, they help people grow and protect their financial assets based on a client's goals, risk appetite, and other factors, and customize portfolio strategies for continuing success. We've got a proven process and a team of knowledgeable professionals to ensure desired balance. Thanks to Oak Lane Advisors for sponsoring Davis football on KSLSports.com. 3rd and 2 here for Lone Peak. They'll put 49? I don't know. I'm trying to read sign language. I'm not very good at it, Jeff.
Yeah, neither am I.
49.
49. You're better at it than you think you are.
That's a nice jog down for that back jog. He's got to go from the 50 to the back of the end zone. 3rd and 2. Davis trying to make some noise for their defense. It's Barney. Barney with a stiff arm and gets to the 5. He might have it. I think they marked him short.
They're gonna.
Sparrow made the tackle.
Are they gonna measure? No.
They are not, and they do say Lone Peak took their second time out. So that stick, we're on a tough angle here to see. I mean, it looks like there's a full yard between where that ball is spotted and where the first down marker is.
That's a big play by Bodie Sparrow from his safety spot to get up to the line of scrimmage and bring down Barney. That's not an easy task for a safety.
Not an easy task. All right, where do you run it here if you're Lone Peak? They just tried the left side. Davis was ready.
I'm going right back to it. This second half, Gavin Gunstream and Batmuli Talo have been dominant. For 1 yard, I'm going to ignore that third down play, and I'm going to trust my guys, and I'm going to trust Tate Barney to get that 1 yard and keep this game going for Lone Peak.
This is a video game play. I'd be really tempted to run a bootleg and have Pula just on a little route to the end
Little
zone.
play action.
I'd be really tempted to try that.
It's a safe play call because you got Kepa as well.
You got Kepa.
That he can make a play
and you
happen.
know they're going to be committed to that left side, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to do when you can turn the game off if it doesn't work.
When you just hit pause and quit.
4th and 1 here for Lone Peak. A trip to the semifinals on the line for these two teams. Kepa will run it, has the first down, takes it to the 2-yard line.
That's a huge play. They keep Lone Peak out of the end zone.
That clock will start. Well, it will not. Lone Peak will take their last time out.
Now it gets interesting.
Now it gets interesting.
Now, if you don't get that yard.
Well, but here's the thing. Everything's tight, right?
Yep.
So they usually say about 12 seconds is about what it takes between plays. So you safely have 2 plays here, safely. But maybe you say, hey, we're going to run it on first down. We do a play action on a second down. That would stop the clock and still give you 2 more attempts. Yep. What do you think? You don't like that?
I don't know. It's tough for me in this situation because you see so many games, especially here at the high school level. Like, look, you're not getting as many reps as you do at college or the NFL. And Sundays, everything makes perfect sense. You can run, get back on the ball, 12 seconds. Yeah, that's a lot of execution at the high school level. I'd be really tempted to say, hey, the best guy that I've got on my team has been Jaron Pula all season long. Let's give him 3 shots.
Okay, let me counter that. Through 3 quarters, Jaron Pula has 2 catches for 15 yards.
He's been bottled up. But what do they say about big-time players in big-time moments?
They say something.
They say something.
1st and goal here for Lone Peak. Kepa will run, and he is in. Touchdown, Lone Peak.
Great job by Kepa to get in the end zone, and here it is, Dane. 30 seconds left on the clock. What does Coach Brockbank do? I think he's keeping the offense on the field.
Oh, I don't know here, Jeff.
A late call.
I thought he was going to as well, but
I think half the offense thought he was going to as well.
He will send out the kicker. Right now, Moose Bingham's like, why would there be a question on this? Both kickers have looked good today. Jake Barker, point after try. It is up. It is true. 31 apiece, 30 seconds left.
Game is tied
Wow.
1-1 with just 30 seconds
I mean,
remaining.
I'm super impressed with the, I don't know what you call it, the confidence of Coach Brockbank and that coaching staff. 4 minutes, they got to go, basically the length of the field. I think they started about the 31. And they did not veer from what they are and what has worked in this game. They didn't get panicked because of the clock. They didn't try to do something that hasn't worked. They stayed with the ground game and trusted that they would execute in the right moments. And that's exactly what Lone Peak did. Really impressive drive.
Really impressive drive. And for me, it was one where it was like, do they have enough time to run the football 70 yards?
Right.
And they did. And look, I mean, Tate Barney, a couple chunks in there, right? 15, 20 yarders, that certainly helps. But they cap it off at the goal line. And, oh, man, what a game. We knew this would be. Other outlets wanted to do this game. Want to thank Davis for letting us come. Great partners. We love our partnership with Davis. And it's been a heck of a battle here tonight. Both these two teams really left it all out there. Lone Peak to kick off. This can be returned. Nope, it cannot. I'm not going to lie. Off the foot, I did not think that had the distance, Jeff.
I didn't either. That ball just kept carrying. Now, it's tough. It's risky, but you do have 3 timeouts if you're Davis, and you have a quarterback who's taken thousands of reps in this offense. Do you try?
They've got 3 timeouts. I'm probably looking for like that little Bodie Sparrow deep dig route, right? That's been a good 12, 15 yarder. And if you can get something like that that opens up, now, yeah, you betcha, right? But if it doesn't work, okay, they don't have timeouts, maybe run it, take it OT. I don't know. It's a great question.
Here's a move by Lone Peak. They bring in Jaron Pula to play safety. He normally doesn't.
And Kennan is back there as well playing safety. As that one just thrown away, incomplete.
Don't see that very often, that when that play gets extended by Bessinger. Generally, Bodie Sparrow and Bessinger are always on the same page. They were not on that
well,
play.
I think that was more of I don't have anywhere to go.
Yeah. Sure. I think that's fair.
I mean, I could be wrong.
I'll give it to you. I think you were right.
I've seen a lot of trading Bessinger, and normally that guy knows exactly what he's doing. So that's why I'm like, we're good. Nita Ihow in the backfield here. And it wouldn't surprise me to just see them run this out. 5 seconds on the play clock. And, oh boy, intercepted. It is Afu who made the read, coming back to pick that off, and Lone Peak now will have it at the 32-yard line.
Great read by Afu. He just sits in the zone, reads the eyes of Traden Bessinger. You see number 6 the whole way, locked eyes with Bessinger, and he comes up with the biggest play of his career. Huge interception.
18 seconds left, no timeouts at the 35-yard line.
This is tough.
Wow. Here comes Lone Peak.
You can't take a sack if you're Kepa.
I think this is where you look for Jared. Empty backfield here for Niume Tolu. Over the middle, and that is broken up. What a play. Flying in was Cole Clark, the senior linebacker.
Cole Clark, he does his best Afu impression, just reads the eyes of Kepa, makes a fantastic play. That's a really athletic linebacker play all the way downfield.
I think that's exactly what you do. You do that one more time, the clock stops, you get up, try to spike it, get a field goal in maybe.
Yeah, with 14 seconds left, whatever you do, you got to get out of bounds or beyond the change, right, to stop the clock.
Yep. Play clock down to 10. 5 wide again. Jaron to the top, Kennan to the bottom. And boy, I don't think they got it off. They did not. Delay a game here on Lone Peak.
The entire Davis sideline had their eyes on that play clock. As soon as it hit 0, there were 2,000 people ready to make that call.
They were all. If they had flags, you would have seen 2,000 of them out on the field. Takes off a second. There's 13.8 on the clock here. Kepa looking. Jaron with the catch, and he goes down shy of the sticks. That clock's still moving. They stop the clock. They stop the clock. Wow. An inadvertent decision from the press box stopped the clock, and the officials, I think, will come together. No. There is 7 seconds left. And so Lone Peak will have a 46-yard field goal try to win it, to advance to a semifinal. The kick is up, and it is no good.
There is nobody more relieved than the hometown clock operator that kick comes up short. The clock still hasn't hit zeros, by the way. Dave, there's still 7.5 seconds on the clock. There's clearly some sort of malfunction, difficulty, something.
So Davis will come out. They'll start at their own 20. That ball across the goal line, so it serves as a touchback. Darts can, I would say this is where they're going to put 2 seconds on the clock here. This is where I think you just say, run the ball and go to overtime.
Just take a knee. Let's figure out what's happening with the clock in overtime.
And that looks to be exactly what Davis will do. 48 minutes, not enough. We head to overtime. Davis, Lone Peak, the rights to advance to a semifinal. We will be back after this.
With a TabSpend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. TabSpend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
Welcome back as we head to overtime here in the 6A quarterfinal. Lone Peak, Davis, as you see teams out on the field for this ever important coin flip to determine who will get the ball first, who will get it second. Oh man, what a game, Jeff.
What a game. We've had a little bit of everything. You've seen the offense, you've seen the big defensive stops, you've seen the controversy, you've seen it all in this one. Seen it so much, I want to see some more.
Friends become enemies. It's been
that was a wild end.
It was getting a little testy
quarter.
over here very quickly.
I was yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it reminded me, I actually think it was a game, if I remember right, this Davis team a few years ago was playing in the playoffs against Lehigh, and there was a similar moment where there was some hometown, in Lehigh, there was some clock stuff that you could see that Coach Ed Larson at the time, he just turned around and looked up at the score box with his arms in the air. Like, what are you doing? And he stood there like a Statue of Liberty.
In fairness,
it's tough.
It is tough.
And you don't know if that was a malfunction. You don't.
Correct. There's so many variables going on, and you're trying to read officials, and
it's so hard.
There's a lot going on, and people can yell all they want. Go try it. Go try it.
It's tough to do.
All right, so coin toss underway. It looks like it will be Lone Peak with the first opportunity here. While we get ready to set that up, we want to show you the 6A bracket, folks. This is what it looks like. You see these two teams' journeys in the bottom right. Davis defeating Bingham, Lone Peak defeating Farmington. To get this game, the winner will take on the winner of Skyridge and American Fork. Again, both these two teams trying to get to Rice Eccles in what has been an annual tradition for Lone Peak and a bit of a drought for Davis. They're trying to turn that tide. Of course, you see Corner Canyon, last check, they were very favorable against Syracuse. I think that game's probably, if not final, it's
close.
Pretty much final.
Yeah.
And then, of course, American Fork and it went dark on us. That doesn't help me out. Let's pull it up once again, shall we? And Mountain Ridge and Harriman. I should have known that. The rematch of that weather game down at Mountain Ridge High School. So Lone Peak, 1st and 10, starting at the 25-yard line. Each team will get matching possessions until one outdoes the other, and it will be Lone Peak here to start. More run game here in the recipe, Jeff?
I would assume so. It's worked so well in the second half. Why would you veer away from it, especially now that the clock is not a factor in any way?
You know, Jeff, it's actually not the veer. I'm just teasing you.
I couldn't resist.
Couldn't resist.
That was well done. You've been watching Friday Night Lights with the veer on your mind.
Or we are, Marshall, one of the two. First down for Lone Peak. It'll be Barney. No, Kepa going to take this himself. And I like that because they've ran Barney that left so much. That's a great little kind of sly movement there from Kepa.
Yeah, great little read. It goes for 5 yards, so it's a successful play as it is. But it also, every other run from the rest of this drive gives that Davis defense just one more thing that they have to think about.
Everyone at Davis High School on their feet on the Davis side, and half the Lone Peak fans on their feet on that side. Second down. This time it will be Barney. Looking left through the lane. First down to the 14-yard line.
And that play, it was Gavin Gunstream, the left guard, that just wins his rep. The left side of that offensive line, they are doing a phenomenal job in this one. Have I talked about it? Can I talk more about the left side of the offensive line?
Please tell me.
Holy
Continue
cow.
on.
They've just been so good. And when
been
you think
really
of Bob Bulitalo, this is his first year playing offensive line.
Yeah, crazy. First down. Barney in the backfield. Tate with the rock. Looking to get left side off tackle. They're still on his feet inside the 5, stretching, and he's in. Touchdown, Lone Peak. 16 yards for Tate Barney.
Well, and on that play, the left side of the offensive line did a good job, but it was the wiggle and the shiftiness of Tate Barney. He breaks some tackles, he evades some tackles, he puts everybody on his back on his way into the end zone. Just a great run by number 4.
Second rushing touchdown tonight for Tate Barney. He didn't score in the first half. Remember, it was a passing touchdown, and then Kepa had another passing touchdown in the third. It looked like some decision going on again there for Lone Peak, but it is, yeah, they'll kick the point after here. I was trying to peer through there to find Barker and found him eventually. To make it a 7-point lead. Kick is up, and it is good. 38-31, Lone Peak. First lead of the game for the Knights.
Yeah, and that really, the rushing attack has just been so tough to stop. It was Kepa on first down, and then it was the Tate Barney show after that on that drive. Tate Barney just has had a phenomenal football game tonight.
Coming in, we talked about averaging 6.6 yards per carry. Of course, had 4 rushing touchdowns a year. We talked about some of the injury. He missed a couple games. And obviously, the injuries up front, but he has been a beast tonight. Now Davis got to score a touchdown.
Something Trayden Bessinger hasn't had to do a lot of this year. Quickly put that interception behind him and get back on track.
Yeah, just the 4th of the year. Trayden able to complete this to Morrison. A gain there of 7.
That's a really good first down play to gain 7 yards. I believe it was Tavita Moonga who got in on the tackle for Lone Peak.
Bring up a second down here, 5 wide again for Bessinger. Traden, quick throw, that is caught inside the 10, inside the 5 to the 2-yard line. Was that Johnny Parker? No, it was 18, my bad, it was Sam Coleman.
Really good job by Traden Bessinger to make that throw. That's a gutsy throw. 21, Toa Tanuvasa was sitting there wanting to make that read.
Itaiahau in the backfield. Bessinger rolling to his right, thrown across the middle, caught, touchdown, Davis. Tyson Baggett.
Now it's Coach Peary who has to make a decision. Do you put the game in the hands of your 4-star quarterback? They're going to kick it. Wow. I'd have been really tempted to do it. That touchdown is Bessinger's 53rd. That moves him out of 9th place into a tie for 7th place now with Jake Lloyd of Timpview a few years ago, and then a familiar rewind name, Riley Nelson. Not bad.
That looked like a kickoff. That one nearly beyond the track. Certainly good. We're tied up. We go to a second overtime. Now, this is interesting, Jeff, because these two teams coming in, you talk about Davis, their only loss on the year, overtime.
Yeah.
And then you look at Lone Peak, and really the game to me that probably stings if you're Lone Peak is that Skyridge game, overtime. So both these two teams, 0-1 on the year in overtime. One of them going to break that trend here tonight.
It's interesting to see the philosophy of these two offenses here in overtime, where it's Lone Peak that's just run, and Bessinger on Davis, it's pass. Just two completely different offensive philosophies that end up in the end zone.
And I'm not going to lie, you can tell me I'm an idiot, you wouldn't be the first, but I did not expect Lone Peak to be this run heavy. I thought we'd see a lot of balance from them with Keppa being healthy, line being healthy, but look, guys, this works. Keep doing it. And I'm a big fan. If you're an OC and you feel like this works, you run it till they stop. I don't care if it's the same play 10 times in a row. Run it till they stop it. That's been the MO from this Lone Peak offense, and it's worked.
And I think, I'm not inside the coaches' rooms in Alpine or in Highland. But
wherever it is.
I think that's probably an in-game adjustment. I don't think that you intended to be this run heavy, but when you're having this much success, if you're that Lone Peak offensive staff, to your point, Dave, why would you go away from it?
Yeah.
It's working so well.
So this is where it'll be interesting. Should Davis score here, then I would imagine if Lone Peak scores, they do go for 2 because they would have the option to decide, right? And I think that's probably what gave them pause maybe the first time, but who knows? Again, not a coach. First down, Davis starting at the 25-yard line. Sparrow. That ball stripped out. Oh, they're going to call progress, or going to call him down. Oh, boy. Tell you, Toa Tanuvasa thought he had a game-changing play.
Yeah, that's kind of what he's known for, Toa Tanuvasa, is those game-changing plays. Nearly had one there.
So gain of 4 there.
Lone Peak has checked Mulitalo in at defensive end. Watch number 52.
They'll throw to Itaiahau. Takes it just inside the 20 to the 19. Boy, big hit coming in there by Zundel.
It's a big third down. I need a hat. I saw a hat.
You have a hat. You're wearing one.
No. I saw a hat that says, "This is a big third down." And that feels like the ultimate dad hat. I've got to find a way to get that hat.
If you want to sponsor that hat for Jeff Hansen, let us know. 3rd and 4 here for Davis, 5 wide. Bodie Sparrow has the first.
That's as good as a run play is for Lone Peak, right? Just get it quick out to Bodie Sparrow and just let him run. He's just so good after the catch.
Ball is at the 13-yard line. Sparrow, oh boy. You see that break on the football, Jeff, and that was Tanavasa again. He's sniffing right now.
That's the same play that we talked about in the first overtime. That it was like, well, that's a really gutsy throw by Bessinger. Tanavasa is sitting on that route. He nearly got there on that play, but a good job by Bessinger. We talk about, hey, if he's going to miss where it's safe. Puts that ball low where Tanavasa can't get to it.
But the quickness of the decision-making, of the ball coming out and the ball getting there. Next level, obviously. Second down. They'll run it. Jackson Itaihow inside the 5, and he has the first. Yes, he does. First and goal for the Darts.
You know, without Bird, who left this game earlier with an injury, haven't seen him play again. Itaiho's done a really good job.
Yes, he has.
When he's been called on as in that run game. Now, we've seen in the red zone here in this situation, we've seen Davis go under center. I don't think we've seen a lot of that this year, but we've seen it a couple of times tonight, and they let Itaihow try to barrel it into the end zone. I wonder if they go back to that.
Yeah, we've seen him roll it out too, but here back in the gun with Itaihow to the right of Bessinger. One kind of standing here for this Lone Peak defense, trying to flow, looking, end zone. Did Bodie get a foot down? No, incomplete. Oh, man.
The ref, of course, right on top of that sideline judge. Very quick to say he was out of bounds. He did come down with it. That's a heck of a catch. Unfortunately, a catch out of bounds.
At the end of the game, Jeff will be able to pick a player of the game from each team. Jeff, no pressure.
Oh, well, you know how I like to pick multiple players.
I do. Congratulations to the defense and to the offense of the respective teams.
It's going to be great.
Second and goal here for the Darts. Oh, and delay of game coming in. Kind of made a late shift there and didn't have enough time to get it off.
Delay game on Davis.
That'll be a loss of 5. Second and goal now from the 8. Itaihow in the backfield here. Motion Baggett. Looking for Sparrow. Nice route. He gets back to penalty yards. We'll set up a third and goal here from the 3.
That's a really pretty route by Sparrow. That little in and out. And ball just on the inside, a little bit behind Sparrow. He had to come back and get it, slow down his momentum. That's a heck of a play by number 2.
Correction, the ball's on the 2. And now look at this, Jeff. They are kind of bringing in some bigs here.
They're going to have to hurry.
Yes, they are. Play clock down to 12. Itaihow in the backfield. Lockwood there as well. Ethan does have a rushing touchdown this year. They give it to Jackson Itaihow, trying to navigate through. Will not. Is tackled at the 2, and now decision time for Coach Peary. What do you do?
I think you trust your best player. I think you trust Bessinger.
That's exactly what he's going to do. Sparrow, Morrison, Baggett, Coleman all coming back on. Fourth and goal for Davis. Play clock down to 12.
Yeah, Coach Perry's got a timeout in his bag.
Yeah, he does. He's going to use it here.
I think that was the plan from the beginning.
You
know you're doing that.
You have to. So timeout taken here by the Darts. Wow, what a game tonight, Jeff. Hey, give us a shout out. Who are you thinking for players of the game? Let's talk through some of this now.
Well, there's a lot of options that you can go. On the Davis side, obviously, Bessinger, Itaihow, and Sparrow have been great, right? You expect that. Isaac Morrison has come up with some big plays. He had the interception in the end zone. He's got a touchdown. He's been fantastic. On the flip side, it's hard to look anywhere but Tate Barney, but I would be really tempted to look at the offensive line and say, hey, Bob Mulitalo, Gavin Gunstream, it didn't matter who was at running back, the left side of that Lone Peak offensive line. I might go there as my player of the game. And then Kepa, his leadership, especially here in the second half. A lot of contenders, for sure.
I love the decision-making from Kepa tonight.
He's been great.
I mean, we felt like, could he play a clean, kind of perfect game? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
And against this Davis team, which look, they get talked about for the offense, but their defense is really good. Like,
they are.
limited AF to 15. Like, he's had a lot of success. He's played very well, but right now it's about this Davis offense. Can Bessinger give the Darts back the lead? 4th and goal from the 2 here in double overtime. Itaiahau will not get it. And it's the freshman able to come up and make the stop. Kingston Stroshine was there for Lone Peak.
What a play by Stroshine. Comes up huge. Lone Peak has got to be careful. Bob Mulitalo's out at midfield. They could pick up a taunting. Obviously, that's a huge moment in this game. They got to be careful not to back up this offense 15 yards.
How about the burst there of Stroshine? I mean, he was in the backfield before that ball got to Itaiahau. I mean, the quickness and the read there by the freshman. That's
good.
why Jeff calls him elite.
Yeah, Kingston Stroshine is really good. And
any points for Lone Peak wins it. Barney in the backfield, and we'll get Kepa with a carry on first. And picking up 2 yards there. And this is where we'll really find out that Davis defense. They've got to find a way to get a stop here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you got to sell out, try to strip that football. I'd be tempted here, to your point earlier at the end of regulation, I'd be tempted here for one play action. Jaron Pula, you know that Davis is going to be sunk in and trying to stop the run.
And Lone Peak going to take a timeout here on 2nd and 8. Okay. We're all waiting on bated breath to see who's going to advance to the semifinal. I want to let you know, come join us on the stream for the semifinal, folks. It's going to be one continuous stream. We're going to start at 10 a.m. We're going to have pregame shows. We'll have the games for you. We'll have halftimes and postgames. We're going to bring you literally like 12 straight hours of football on Thursday and Friday with 6A, 5A, and 4A semifinals. There's nowhere else you want to go to watch it. Well, maybe the stadium live. But outside of being there, you want to come. We're going to have guest coaches.
Yeah.
It's going to be special.
It's a lot of fun every year. There is, we can pat ourselves on the back a little bit. There is nobody that does the state semifinals and state finals better than KSL Sports Rewind. We're going to have it all for you next week.
2nd down here for Niumetolu. He'll hand off. Barney head of the line of scrimmage and will not get anything on the 2nd down run. 3rd down.
And a great job by Bridger Young to get just enough penetration from his defensive line spot and then to wrap up on first contact. It's a big stop.
Isn't this interesting?
Because why wouldn't it be? You have the defenses make a stand. We've seen everything else. Now some defensive stands and double overtime.
They got to get to the 15 for a new set of downs. Barney in the backfield. Kepa will give. Barney tripped up behind the line of scrimmage, and that was Cameron Evans, the junior, who was on the ground and got a hand on Barney as Tate will get to the line of scrimmage and nothing else. 4th down.
That brings up 4th down for Lone Peak.
And they're going to try for the win. They had a 46-yard try to win it. It was short. This will be a 38-yard field goal. Semifinals on the line for Lone Peak. Jake Barker to advance the Knights. The kick is up. And it is good! Jake Barker from 38 yards in double overtime. And Lone Peak returns to Rice-Eccles Stadium.
The resiliency of this Lone Peak team to fight back. They were trailing the entire game. They fight back, tie it up in overtime on the road, and they come up with just enough plays in overtime to get the win.
What a game. I mean, I don't know how to describe this game, Jeff. Back and forth, two teams that really, like, these are two of the top teams in the state. Lone Peak beat the best team in the state. Davis has been one of the best teams in the state all year long. The season has to come to an end for one of them. It takes double overtime, and it comes down to a field goal.
Yeah, you have to be impressed with both of these teams. This Davis team has been fantastic all season long. Really, you look at both of these teams, it's gut-wrenching that one of them had to lose. We cannot say enough positive things about this Dart team. With Trayden Bessinger, his entire career has been so much fun for us to watch. This team came together really, really well. It's been a great run for the Darts. Lone Peak lives to see another week.
Yep.
They're healthy. When they're healthy, they look like they are one of the best teams in the state of Utah. They'll get a chance to prove it.
They'd love to get revenge on some of those region teams. They may have an opportunity. Speaking of the Lone Peak Knights, but let's take a minute for Davis. You talk about Trayden Bessinger. He's a senior. Cole Clark's a senior. Isaac Morrison's a senior. Tyson Baggett's a senior. Caden Montgomery. I've just gone through the first 10 numbers, guys. This roster is littered with seniors, guys who have made stamps on this program, their careers, high school careers ending here tonight, but man, fantastic careers for these young men here at Davis High School.
Yeah, just a fantastic season. It's been a joy for us to be here every week with this Davis team. Cannot say enough good things, and it had to end for somebody tonight. It's gut-wrenching every single year, but really, really glad that we got to be a part of this Davis season this year.
Your player of the game?
Well, I mean, we rattled off a bunch of names, but I go with the guy who made the game-winning play at the end, and I'm looking at Kingston Stroshine. He had some big plays throughout the game, but the freshman, comes up huge in overtime with the big stop that ultimately is the difference maker that kept this high-powered Davis offense out of the end zone in double overtime.
41-38, Lone Peak upsets Davis and returns to Rice-Eccles Stadium to the 6A semifinal. You can catch that game live on KSLSports.com. Opponent to be determined, but we will have all semis for you. 4A, 5A, 6A, live with pregame, halftime, and postgame shows right here on KSLSports.com. Thank you so much for joining us, and to all of our Davis faithful who have been great at supporting us this year. Been our pleasure to be able to bring you Davis football and Lone Peak football here on KSLSports.com. For Vince Francis, Jeff Hansen, my name is Dane Stewart. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week at Rice-Eccles Stadium.